vehicle. Troopers conducted a search of the area and found the man on the ground near the track doing 35 years. And they say he had been lying in a secluded area for about 3 hours. They were able to revive him, though he complained of chest pains. The troopers began to transport him to a waiting ambulance, but the man lost consciousness, stopped breathing, and had no pulse. Troopers were again able to resuscitate the man with life-saving measures and got him to the ambulance where he was taken to a local hospital. The Michigan DNR is warning residents to be aware of fire danger across the entire state. The danger has reached high or very conditions. Forest and grassy areas remain dry despite recent rains. Anyone going camping or hosting cooking fires in their yards are urged to use extreme caution. Have a supply of water on hand and never leave a fire unattended. Also check with your local fire department to see if there is a burn ban in effect for burning debris. The Four Lakes Task Force wants to see the Edenville and Sanford dams restored in order to help restore the lakes that strained out during last year's flood. The survey, owners in the area, shows overwhelming support to rebuild and restore the dams. Around 86% of the 3,200 respondents. But the task force officials say while the costs to do so aren't as high as expected, there will still need to be government funding to help. The task force has proposed a special tax assessment to help fund the projects, but only 64% were in favor of that plan. The project's estimated at around $287 million. Put that number at around $338 million. A special assessment would only cover about $100 million of the cost, with help from Midland and Duggan counties. $50 million has already been granted. That means the people are looking to the government for an additional $137 million. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Yeah. What you got?
XT2 Series tractors.
Ready to go?
These lawn tractors have always set the standard for performance and comfort. Now get more strength, durability, and versatility with a strong Kawasaki engine delivering reliable power to tackle your yard, plus a 42-inch heavy-duty fabricated Aeroforce deck cutting system delivering a best-in-class cut and fuel. Increased evenness. The tough torque hydrostatic transmission delivers no shifting. Just push the pedal and go. See the new Cub Cadet Enhanced XT2 Series tractors today at Woolfiles, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists. Open 7 days.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. Michigan lawmakers are proposing an $80 million funding increase for law enforcement, including $47 million to help recruit and retain officers at a time a top Republican says the profession has been beaten down by anti-police sentiments. The proposed spending will be added to a budget bill in the GOP-led House, and Senate includes some additional assistance to attend police academies and stipends for doing reduced training. Funding would incentivize the use of body cameras and community policing. The sheriffs cited fishing and recruitment challenges amid calls for police reform at a national debate over deadly force. Several Saginaw Township businesses were awarded for their growth over the past 2 years. WSGW has more.
Given an history of state of the township address after last year's event had to be canceled, Township Manager James Rickman says the businesses were honored for their focus on adding to the community or renovating what they already provide because of the additional jobs the projects made. ABC Supply Company and Covenant Healthcare were awarded for new construction in the area. Frankenmuth Credit Union, Michigan Health Clinic, and Yaya's Flame Royal Chicken won for renovation and redevelopment. And outside of those construction honors, presented as Saginaw Township's Business of the Year. With Antonio News Radio 1.
Saginaw Township Police Chief Don Purcell has announced he will be retiring. As shared again publicly at this week's Saginaw Township State of the Township address, Purcell said he'll be staying through the end of the year, and that the department has already chosen its next chief in Detective Lieutenant Scott Malice. Purcell is now the Saginaw Township Police Department for nearly 28 years and will be working by his side to help with a smooth transition process. Announcement of Purcell's retirement. That comes after the recent retirements of Fire Chief Jim Peterson and City of Saginaw Fire Chief Chris Van Loo, and taking over Peterson's place in Saginaw Township. It looks like the cost of the computer chip shortage is going up. Wait. Reporter Jeff Gilbert.
From $61 billion to $110 billion, says Dan Hurd, who's the managing director at Alex Partners, with 3.9 million vehicles lost from production. The cost is global. You're taking into account dealers and others who are impacted. This will change the way the companies look at this. It will change the way that automakers design, not just chips, but other materials as well. Hurd says it's likely we're at the bottom, but it will take until well into next year before things get back to normal. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News.
But the election isn't for another year and a half. But a Michigan college professor says she's running for Secretary of State. Details from MNN's Jason Scott.
Christina Caramo of Oak Park is announcing her candidacy to remove, but rather running to remove corruption from elections office. In addition, in a statement, Caramo says the Secretary of State office operations should be run efficiently under the direction of local branch managers. Currently, Caramo is a professor at Wayne County Community College and serves as a Michigan Republican Party State Committee woman. Jocelyn Benson is the current Secretary of State.
Call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 912. I'm Dave Mauer.
Here's your WSDW weather out and forecast. Sunny for today. Highs to make it into the lower.
What timing?
Winds west around
Hey, how's that?
5 miles per hour. Tonight,
I plugged out of that meeting. I said, you know, that's enough of that. How are you, Art?
Good.
Good to see you.
What's going on?
No mask mandate. We still got it in Michigan. though.
Well, yeah, but we can't use them with these.
Yeah, no, I know, but I mean, like
Well,
what's gonna? I mean, what's her
I
deal?
don't know. Who knows what she does? I don't
That's
think she
huge.
knows what she does.
That's huge if we can get that done.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. How are you?
Good, man. How
Good to
about
see
you?
You golfing today or no?
No, I'm gonna golf Sunday with Gary.
Yeah, we're at.
Summit.
All right.
You've been hitting them like you used to.
I don't know what the heck happened.
I'll play. Anytime you want to play. let me
Yeah,
know.
if you guys want to play Apple Sunday, let me know. I'll set you up.
We're already set up here. Yeah, they let us play.
Yeah, I figured.
WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And I think I've got video. Look at that. I do have video this morning. Wow. A smiling face sitting next to me. We'll talk about that in a moment. But we are here at Woolfiles, 5818 State Street in Saginaw for their big annual surplus lawn and garden equipment auction. It goes on this Sunday. We'll be telling you all about it. But, and also at 11 o'clock this morning on Focus, Dr. Stephanie Duggan, the regional president of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North, will be with us. And we'll have open phones for you during the 10 o'clock hour. But for this hour, the announcement that was made yesterday by the Canadian Hockey League and the Ontario Hockey League about the resumption of hockey, couldn't resist inviting this guy to sit with me this morning. He is president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. And of course, we are talking about Craig Goslin. Good morning.
Good morning, Art.
You get to, whoop,
Yeah.
I don't hear you. There
You go.
Now,
Yeah, good morning, Art.
well, no, I still don't hear you.
Yeah.
Why don't I hear you?
Art, how's that? No?
Nope,
Testing?
nope. We're working on it. Da-da-da. Oh, well. Oh, I know why. Never mind. Try that.
How's that?
Oh,
there
much
we go.
better.
Yeah, we got technical issues here.
I've only been doing this 50 some odd years. It takes a while to learn, you know. So I guess the word I would use is hallelujah.
Hallelujah is the word. Oh, yeah. No, we've worked tirelessly trying to figure out how we could have played, and there's not a team in the CHL. There's 60 teams in our league. Saginaw was ranked in the top 5 coming into the season. Last year, we won 18 of our last 22 hockey games.
Yep.
Some of those by substantial margins. We had 2 outstanding teams, and we were unable to. ice those teams and create a championship for this community. And it's painful. It really is, because those players are graduated out going into the pros, and we're starting over with a younger group, but a very talented group. So anyways, it's exciting to be looking forward. October 7th will be the week of the home openers in the OHL. That is 100% confirmed. We're going to play, and you know what? It's exciting for our fans, and for you know, we miss our fans. With these great people that have supported this program, our sponsors, everybody, and you know what? All that's going to be coming back into the fold here as we get this COVID thing under control. So it's exciting times.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's just been, there's so many unknowns, and every time you turn around, and we should also point out to folks, a lot of the reasons that you didn't play this year had more to do with Ontario than the United States.
Oh yeah, we could have played here, but we decided really we're one league. And that we were not going to, the U.S. teams were not going to start with 17.
Split out.
Yeah, we weren't going to split up, and you know, it ended up being the right decision. Ontario's still on lockdown right now. And even though their numbers are drastically improving, and they're getting the vaccines finally, they made a big mistake early. I don't know if it was Justin Trudeau or who made the mistake, but they ordered their vaccines from China. And when they came in, the ministers of health in all the provinces said no go on those. And so they were in a world of hurt on the vaccines, and now they've got vaccines coming in from the U.S. and it's becoming more readily available in Ontario.
And hopefully then by the time the summer passes, things will be back to some kind of normalcy at the border.
Yeah, as of this morning, 45% of Ontarians have been vaccinated with at least one dose. So they've come a long way in the last month. And certainly we're hoping that this is going to continue, so that really doesn't affect on the Saginaw Spirit of the Ontario Hockey League.
All right, let's talk about the Spirit. First of all, let's talk about some of the youngsters we had. Will we see Cole Perfetti, or is he pretty much going to be locked
Cole Perfetti is playing right now with the Manitoba Moose, which is the part of the Winnipeg Jets.
Playing well.
Playing outstanding. I know he's made his way through there. My gut feel says we'll have Cole Perfetti back.
Really?
Yeah, because he's the 19-year-olds we have an agreement with the NHL is that they have to put the 19-year-old on the NHL team. Or else send him back to Major Junior. All right, so unless he makes the Winnipeg Jets next year, they can't put him in Manitoba next year. All right, so we gave the American League and the NHL 1 year of an agreement because we couldn't play. For them to be able to take our young kids and put them in the American League, but they can't do that.
And am I correct, Craig? Did I not hear that if they put them on the big squad on the NHL on the Jets, they could play him up to 9 or 10 games,
correct,
and then send him back? Once they hit 10, that's the break point. Then he's on their team.
Once he plays the 10th game, they have to sign him to his entry level contract, which is a 3-year. It has 3 years on it.
Right.
And with the salary cap, it all ties in because the $83 million is the salary cap of these teams now. That's coming down because of revenue coming down, and you're going to see that these younger kids are going to be getting more of a chance to make those rosters because they cost them less.
Well, I'll tell you, I've talked to a lot of people who first say we're getting hockey back, and then the next thing they say is, I'm sorry I missed this season because I didn't get to see Cole Perfetti.
Cole Perfetti's special, and we've got another kid from Saginaw, Mitchell Smith. Mitchell Smith is special.
Yeah.
He's he's worked great in the off season, and I feel bad for Mitchell, T-Bone Codd, Davis, T-Bone Codd, Josh Bloom. These are young men that they've worked so hard in the off season.
T-Bone and Josh were interviewed on one of those video podcasts.
Yes, they were.
CHL does. I saw them the other day.
No, they're outstanding talents. They'll be leading this team, which is neat. We have really good young talented kids leading this team next year, and so it's but that's the component of this is they didn't get a chance to be evaluated this year, and that's so next year's going to be an evaluation.
That hurts their career chances. They've got to be seen. Scouts have got to see them.
Jimmy D made a great comment to me the other day. Jim Devillano, he said, you know what, if the players are good enough, you can't hide from the NHL. And so these guys just got to remember that. You know what? It is a blow for them.
Interesting, yeah.
But if they're good enough, they're not going to hide from the NHL scouts. They'll find those players.
All right, hang on. We're here at Wolf Files, 5818 State Street. We're talking to Craig Goslin. You can see both of us on Twitch.tv, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And I want to take a moment to tell you what's happening here at Wolf Files. It's happening actually this Sunday, beginning at 10 a.m., although you can come out and preview everything today. A large lawn and garden equipment auction featuring over 50 lawn and garden tractors and 100 walk-behind mowers, as well as some related equipment, all put on by Wegner Auctioneers. Marty Wegner and his staff will be here. It features Cub Cadet, JD, Skag, Craftsman, And of course, most of the tractors are sold with mower decks. Some have tillers and blades. It's a large all-season outdoor equipment auction. And again, beginning this afternoon, actually, they're out there now. You can come out and you can take a look at all of this equipment. There'll be auction updates. It all happens here at Woolfiles Hardware, their annual surplus lawn and garden equipment auction. And while I have your attention this morning, when you choose Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan for your Medicare coverage, it's easy to get the care, tests, and treatment you need whenever you need them. When you need access to care, Blue Cross provides you with more options that work for every lifestyle. Schedule appointments for check-ins or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. If you'd like to stay close to home, give the Blue Cross 24/7 nurse line a call or schedule a virtual doctor visit. Whenever you need assistance, Blue Cross will connect you with the information and the help you need. With the Blue Cross Medicare plan, you'll never have to go without your medication. Their easy-to-use prescription drug plans allow you to refill and pick up your medications from your local pharmacy or have them delivered by mail. Get access to the care you need as soon as you need it. With Blue Cross, the company more than 500,000 people in Michigan trust for their Medicare coverage. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, confidence comes with every card. See what other members are saying at bcbsm.com/seniorcare. And we will be back with more with Craig Goslin after these notes.
Couldn't drive by without saying hello.
Hey, how are you? Hey, Skip, how are you, man? What's going on, brother?
Couldn't drive by without saying hello.
How are you? You still doing farming? You still out there
Small
plowing?
scale.
Yeah.
We do 4 acres of pumpkins though for a fall.
Oh, do you really? You do
You should
pumpkins?
come out
Yeah.
sometime just to
Yeah.
drive by.
Right at the house. You still at the same place?
Well, mother passed away,
Yeah.
so we're down at the. Linda and I are actually living in the farmhouse now at the farm instead of down the road.
Yeah.
And
How many acres you have?
just 100 acres of row crop, about 160 I think total. But
If you join
just
now,
enough to keep me busy and keep me out of mischief.
Well, that's a tough thing. You still driving?
No, I
Give
still
that up?
carry my CDL.
Yeah, I let mine go. I finally said I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, I guess.
I reached a point, Skip, where
You didn't.
I
want the
didn't want
responsibility.
to see the headline
Yeah.
78-year-old rolls bus on interstate. I didn't want to see that headline. So I let it go.
I guess I still carry mine just in case somebody calls me
Well,
up
I
and
did
says,
that
hey,
for
I
years.
need some help for beat haul or something
Yeah.
like that.
I did that. I did that for about 4 or 5 years. I kept the license going. And last February, this past February, my medical expired, and I'd already let the license go. My medical was out, so that's it.
Yeah.
I'm done. And they kept giving me 2-year renewals, so
Yeah. No, we're just cruising along.
Ah,
Got-
good to see you.
Doing what we're doing and
Good to see you.
hoping to do a little more. It's funny. I just mentioned last summer I never got my kayaks or my boat out.
Jeez,
Don't
really?
ask me why. It's one of those things that everything was so.
Yeah, well, everything was tied up.
And we got fortunate when the whole pandemic started. We were actually in California visiting my niece when the shutdowns out in California started.
You got out of there just in time, huh?
Yeah, we did because we were on our way home. We put 5,000 miles on the truck. We were touring mostly of the southwestern state parks or national
Oh, yeah.
parks. That was a lot of fun.
Done that several times.
Anyway,
Oh, well.
we went and stopped at Hoover Dam and they had closed it, of course, because of the shutdown deal. But I just wanted to say,
All right.
it's nice to meet you.
Good seeing you.
You bet.
Good luck with
Thank you. Thank you very
Talk
much.
to you.
Good seeing you.
Take care, Skip.
Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decoration Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies.
Skip.
Last year we saw historically low mortgage interest
I came here in '74. Wasn't long after that. Started to do some stuff on the air, morning show bits, and he was a dairy farmer at the time. Taught me how to milk a cow.
No kidding. That's cool. That is so
I've
cool.
known him about 40 years.
That's so cool. And it's neat that he took the time to stop by too. You know,
Yeah.
very, very cool. Said a lot.
Scooted off the infield grass. Goodman had the second down, not in time. Rico Goodman delivers. Missouri scores 2-0 Tigers. The Tigers plays. On 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, broadcasting from Wolf Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. The handsome gentleman sitting next to me is the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. He is Craig Goslin. After a very disappointing year of no hockey, we look forward to October 7th. When do the kids report?
The kids will be here September the 4th. That's actually the reporting date. My gut feel tells me they're going to be here a lot earlier than that.
Assuming they can get across the border. That's
Yeah.
going to be the key. Right?
Yeah, they can get across. Actually, the Ontario kids, our players all have P1 visas, so they can get us back and forth as much as they want right now.
Oh, can they
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have no problem getting our players back and forth. It's because they have employment visas. But anyways, it's a difficult. It's going to be difficult keeping the kids away from Saginaw. They love it here. They have great billet homes. Their host families are family to them, and they're going to report much earlier than September 4th.
Yeah.
I can assure you that.
Let's talk about first. Let's talk about the hockey staff. All the coaches back. What's the situation with coaches?
Jared Nightingale is going to be moving on to another position, and other than that, the entire coach Chris Lazary and his coaching staff is all back intact. Yes.
And in terms of, and people don't realize how much goes on behind the scenes, how much games day staff there is. You're going to be able to find the interns and the students.
Well, we're blessed with SVSU and with CMU and with Northwood. We have tremendous universities here that really feed our program when it comes to interns, us and the Loons for that matter, and the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational, the LPGA event. So we've got great resources here to bring in outstanding interns. And that's one of the reasons our game day is so good. You look at it, the game day, people around our league look and say, "Wow, look at the things you guys do." It's a show. It's like you walk, even if you don't like hockey, you can walk in there and say, "That was fun. I want to go back again." And a lot of that's because of the people that we have and the resources that the universities have supplied.
And realistically, and minor league baseball does the same thing. You have to have that entertainment factor, not just the sports factor. The sports is great, and it's wonderful to see these young hockey players. But it's a whole event.
What is, and the Dow Event Center, of course, is one of the premier arenas in our league, even though it was built in '72. It's house going under another renovation project now with the new ice plant and new ice boards and everything else. So we've got one of the finest facilities in the league when it comes to viewing games. So with the center ice video board that Mr. Garber
plunked a dollar
graciously invested in, it's been great for the fans, and it's the environment, the new lights in there are just the best in the league. Our TV broadcast is outstanding. Why? Because of the lights. We have better lights than NHL arenas, right? And so it's the environment at the Dow is outstanding, and it's going to continue to get better.
All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. How many people are going to be able to put in the seats?
Well, great news. Baseball is going to be opening up to full capacity in most stadiums here sometime before the middle of June. We think that's going to pave the way. College football starts before we do. They start in August, and we're going to start in October. We're getting information from epidemiologists that we work with that that in October we should be able to have full arena. And the main thing is to get vaccinated and do what they're saying telling us to do. I'll do whatever it takes so we can play hockey again.
Get those epidemiologists to talk to Gretchen Whitmer.
I hope that she sees the light on this and sees what the other states are doing.
Well, she has put out timeline now. She's put out a timeline of vaccination percentage versus what it means in terms of opening up again.
Good. Yeah.
But it would be nice to be able to have some kind of normalcy.
Yeah, we're planning on full capacity, Art, to answer your question in October, and that's not from us. That's from the people that are in that question. They're saying that by October we should be able to have full capacity. So that's
All right, so we talk about these youngsters. We talked about the big names, but let's talk about the team. First of all, draft's coming up pretty quick, isn't it?
yeah, our draft, we moved it to June 4th and 5th, and our scouts have done a great job under the conditions. Of course, most of
I was going to say, who do they scout?
Well, most players come from Ontario, of course. Brian Prout, who's our U.S. scout, he's been scouting the U.S. teams. I think we're significantly ahead of most of the teams in our league because of the fact that we
Don't know when I'm getting
the
it
U.S. market. And so you'll see.
Was there hockey to watch?
Oh yeah.
So Brian was able to see players.
Yeah, the midget teams all played here in the U.S. You look at all the feeder programs to our league that would be U.S. Specific.
Okay, let's take care.
All played this year. And you know what? We were able to get a lot of video on players that are on Ontario. So our guys are prepared for the draft. We'll do well. And even though they didn't get typically, just so your listeners understand, our scouts will look at a player between 9 and 15 times before they actually make a full evaluation of the player. So they see a player significant. So if he has a bad game or two, it really doesn't affect him. And the NHL scouts are the same way with our players. Our players think if they have a bad game, boy, I'm out. Well, that's not the case. I mean,
they know everybody has a bad
game. They all do. It's going to happen, And bottom line is that our scouts have done a great job, and it's Dave Drake and his staff. They've you know what, Art? Dave is he's a farmer from Ontario, and he's got the farmer's work ethic, and he works from sun up to sundown and continues to work. All right, and it's not only does he work hard, he works smart, and we're very fortunate to have Dave Drake, and his whole staff is like that. These guys are committed. And that's why you see the team, the Saginaw Spirit, running up to the top of the ladder. It's a premier organization in the CHL now. Why? Because we're getting great players.
Does that translate into player desires to come here? Because in the beginning, a lot of players didn't know from Saginaw, didn't know about Saginaw. The team was so-so. That's not an attractive position to be in now as a premier team and a top 5 team. Do you find players trying to get on your list?
Yeah, I had one of our GMs in our league told me who's had won Memorial Cups and championships that Saginaw has now become the destination. All right, so he's competing to bring players into our league, and he's competing against the Saginaw. All right, so that's great to hear that from a top GM. And a lot of that too has to do with our community, the fans, the environment that's in the arena is second to none. Our fans are just right on top of this game, and the improvements at the Dow Event Center, and of course all that parlays into when families come here to visit Saginaw. You know what? We take them to Frankenmuth for a chicken dinner. We take them to the Loons game. We take them to the Bay City Riverfront. We show them the Great Lakes Bay region. They say, "Wow, this is really an awesome community," and they want to come here, right? And then of course the kids go to school at SVSU. They go to school at Heritage, and it's been nothing but continue to improve every year. So we have a great community here, and we show it off throughout the U.S. and throughout Ontario, and that's what's happened. That's why we're at the top of the ladder now in the CHL.
And speaking of community, I mean, this is not without financial impact.
Oh, no question about that. Yeah, the economic impact of the Spirit on the region is right around $15 million, according to Convention and Visitors Bureau. That's with fans traveling in, staying in our hotels, eating in our restaurants, pouring gas in the gas tanks, all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's a significant economic impact, and certainly we hope to continue to rise that as we get specialty events and things like that.
Well, I want to talk about one thing, and what you can't talk about, don't talk about. But during the pandemic, when there was no hockey, and that kind of reduces the income of the club too.
Yep.
The club had a lot of expenses. You had to keep paying for colleges, paying for all kinds of things, didn't you?
Well, I'll tell you what.
It was not an inexpensive season.
I can say this. Thank God for Mr. Garber. He is committed to this community in so many ways. He has stepped up and done all the things we have to do to continue to have the franchise be elite, and it's for the community, for the fans. He said to me, "You know what? I want to do this right. Let's continue doing it for the fans. Make sure we come back strong. All those things that are just Dick Garber, and that's
he's unusual." Yes, very unusual.
Well, he's community to the core, right? And
he doesn't like people talking about him, but we will anyway.
It's too late for that, I guess. But yeah, no, it really is. I mean, Dick deserves a lot of kudos for what he's done here with this franchise and this community, and our return to play is no different.
Yeah, well, I'm going to pat you a little bit too. I mean, this guy sitting next to me has been OHL exec or CHL Executive of the Year a couple of times now, and you are the chairman of the Board of Governors right now.
Yeah, what a time to be chairman. Huh?
So yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
How long a reign do you have?
Well, it's 2 years, probably going to go on for a few more, I guess, by the way it looks. But yeah, it's been quite a time to be chairman of the board of the Ontario Hockey. It's been an honor, and we have great owners. We do.
Can't think of a better leader.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to take a break. Come back. We're talking to Craig Goslin. He is the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. And the good news, as we've mentioned several times now, October 7th, put it on your calendar because that's going to be start of play. Do we know if we're going to have a home opener on the 7th? Or
I don't think we'll have a home opener just because of the work being done at the Dow. So I think that we're probably going to be maybe a week later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah, gut feel.
All right, we're going to take a break. Let me take a moment to talk to you about cars, because if you're looking for a newer car, I've got some great news for you. Thalen Auto Group in Bay City. Start and end your search with the next car, truck, or SUV by looking over one of the largest inventories of previously owned vehicles in the Great Lakes Bay region. Thalen has hundreds of vehicles to choose from, including premium luxury vehicles to everyday drivers in all price ranges. And remember this, Thalen searches the market for the lowest prices on their used vehicles, and that is the price they pass on to you, and they do that because it's the right thing to do. Financing also easy at Thalen, no matter your current credit situation. Visit the Thalen Auto Group today, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, or view their inventory online at thinkthalen.com. Test drive the vehicle of your dreams, then sit down with a Thalen representative to see how easy it is to make your dreams come true. The Thalen Auto Group has been serving the automotive needs of the Great Lakes Bay region for 44 years, now in their third generation of family ownership. We'll be back with more here at Wolf Files and Craig Goslin after these notes.
Control flies in the dairy operation with an integrated pest management
that's a great
program
question,
built
too.
around Clarify, Larvicide, and Starbar
The
products.
finances that these teams have taken to the chin. Some teams lost $2 million.
You going to lose any teams?
See, that's a great thing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great thing about our league. Like, in order to become an owner in this league,
they
take what they do is you got to send your audited financials in, and so in order to become an owner, the network's got to be substantial.
Oh, yeah.
And so these guys.
Now, you mentioned that the Premier of Ontario in budget put away $12 million for the OHL.
11 and a half.
11 and a half. Does that go to U.S. teams too?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a good question, actually. It's going to. No, it goes to the Ontario teams. But there's other buckets.
So they can put it in one bucket, take money out of the other
Well, we
bucket.
got the NHL money.
Yeah, okay.
There's ways that we can look after the U.S. teams, but it's not going to be through the Ontario money. It won't be through the
That's what I was wondering, because I didn't
no,
think they'd
no.
let their dollars come across the border.
No chance.
No more than we would either.
No chance. No chance. So
You're a man
it's a matter of just
consider contacting
working our way through the details of that.
Help men
That's one good thing about being chairman.
legal matters.
I got that one looked after.
Yeah.
That's, what, we're going to look after that deal. But no, we got 8 U.S. teams, and I'll look after 8 of them, right?
Well, you look at the CHL.
It's the CHL, yeah. It's the CHL. We're looking at all 8 of us. I mean, we had a board meeting yesterday with the CHL.
2020 was a challenging year, but things are looking up.
I remind those guys, hey, listen, the U.S. teams, we're looking, we got a new TV contract
And
with
Murray, senior advisor at Retirement Planners of America. If you are 50 or
We have a new
older,
TV
call us
contract,
today to
substantial
schedule a free
TV contract.
consultation
And
to
so
learn
ESPN
more
that's
here in the
good.
U.S. will be doing some more work with the CHL. But TSN is owned by ESPN, right? And they have Sports Center and everything else. It's ESPN of Canada, right? And so now John Bucci-Cross, too, is a good friend of ours and mine.
And will that translate into U.S. television?
We won't get games. We'll get coverage on Sports Center.
Yeah.
Maybe we might get like a Memorial Cup. Who knows? Don't know.
Hi, we're back with you here on WSGW at Wolf Files, 5818 State Street. Talking to Craig Goslin of the Saginaw Spirit, the president and managing partner. One of the things that we were just talking about this during the break, one of the things that's allowed, for example, the NHL to sustain during this, think of these huge TV contracts. They could play to an empty house and still make money. You can't do that.
No.
But you do have television in the bag, don't you?
We do. Actually, we just signed a new deal with TSN, which is the ESPN of Canada. It's actually owned by ESPN. And we'll be getting coverage now from the CHL. There's 60 teams in the league. We'll be getting coverage on ESPN in terms of here in the U.S. from scores and highlights. Their top 10 plays. You'll see a lot of that stuff happening because there's a partnership between TSN and ESPN. So that's exciting news, and it's good for our players because they'll get a lot of exposure. And a lot of the major events in our league will likely be carried on the ESPN network of some sort.
And in terms of game day coverage, while we won't have live games here, they'll see them in Canada, won't they?
Absolutely.
Including our games here.
Yeah, absolutely. Our games are all on TV live in Canada. We're the #1 spectator league in all of Canada. We outdraw the NHL by 3.5 million fans.
Really?
So it's not even close. Yeah, so that's when you look at the Canadian Hockey League. That's where it's got political leverage in Canada, and because it's the largest spectator league in all of Canada. And there's 60 teams, or 52 teams in Canada. So it's substantial.
And there are 3 leagues.
Yeah, there's 3 leagues: the Western League, the Quebec League, and the Ontario Hockey League. Of course, we're the Ontario Hockey League, and I'm kind of involved in all 3 now, the CHL. So it's,
You don't have enough to do.
Yeah, no, it's the plate is full. Yeah.
That's too bad for you. I really feel sorry.
I enjoy it though.
Yeah, I know.
Special.
I know. And you have, and I've watched this because I've been involved with the team since day one. I have watched you develop some relationships in the world of hockey.
Yes.
When guys like Steve Eisenman call you for advice, I know you've made it.
Well, I don't know if he calls it for advice. I do talk to him once in a while. But Ken Holland, of course,
Kenny Holland
is one of my closest friends.
What a great guy he is.
And Dale Talon, there's a number of the Doug Armstrong.
And then, of course, in terms of ownership of the Spirit, you have Jimmy DiVolano,
and Osgood.
Chris Osgood.
Yeah, he's a piece of work. Yeah.
And locally,
Brandon Bordeaux. Brandon's fantastic.
Great guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's been a huge asset for us, both on the hockey side as well as the business side. And he's got a young son, Brandon Bordeaux, Cooper Bordeaux, who's also involved in the junior Spirit and in AAA hockey, who's coming up the ranks. And who knows, maybe he ends up being on the Spirit.
Well, he was a friend of Ozzy, right?
Yeah, Yeah. I guess he's a close friend of Chris Osgood. Yeah.
It's interesting, and when you have that kind of talent in ownership, they must feel something is good about this organization.
Well, they do, and they've added a significant amount of impact for us too. Jim DeVolano works with myself. He's been a consultant of mine actually. When I got into this business, I was able to reach out to Ken, and Ken connected me with Jim. So that would have been in 2002, and Jim and I have been developing this long-term friendship since then. And when there was an opportunity for him to buy some shares, he wanted in, and Chris Osgood was the same way. So it does say a lot about our franchise. We do have some significant, players there that have won Stanley Cups. Jimmy D's won 7, right? And it's nice to be able to pick up the phone and talk to a guy who's won 7 Stanley Cups, right? You can win 1 by kind of just being there, win 2 maybe by accident, but you don't win 7 by accident.
And if you need any more, you can talk to Scotty Bowman.
Yeah, exactly. Scotty's won 9. All right, and he'll remind you of that too.
Both of them together. That'd be a real trip.
Yeah, I had dinner with both of them.
I called Craig one day. I don't know, it was a couple of months ago. Where are you? I'm in Florida. What are you doing? I'm sitting in the house with.
It's an Italian restaurant. Yeah.
With an Italian restaurant with DeVolano and Bowman.
Yeah.
I feel so sorry for you.
I was pinching myself. I got 16 Stanley Cups sitting next to me, and here's this guy from the south end of Bay City. Like, where's Waldo? What's this guy doing here?
Oh, they're gonna be fun to talk to, though.
They are.
It really is
terrific.
I remember when Scotty Bowman was in town. Then I was introduced to him. He didn't want to know anything except, I'm from New York. Tell me about New York.
Yeah. No, he's
what a character.
Yeah, he gets things done. That's his. He doesn't have great listening skills, but
I don't think either of them do.
No, they don't.
Had conversations with both. I don't think either of them do. Pretty funny. It is pretty funny. The hockey world is a world to its own, isn't it?
It really is.
It really is.
It's a close-knit brotherhood. It really is. And major, junior, and also all the way up to the NHL. And when you look at the NHL, our league feeds, the Canadian Hockey League feeds almost 60% of the players that are in the National Hockey League. And we make a significant impact on their rosters. All right, so that's why they want to get to know people like myself and Dave Drinkle and Chris Lasry. They want to know who's coming up, not just in terms of players, but also in terms of coaches, officials, trainers, equipment managers, all that stuff. We feed that league. So
when you look at you look at these young athletes. If they decide to leave the Ontario Hockey League, they go back to Canada, they can play college hockey.
Yes, they can.
The United States, the NCAA has adamantly said no.
That's correct.
You ever see that changing?
I do. I hope that changes down the line. It would be wonderful for the game. It would be wonderful for the kids. It'd be great for these players to be able to come into the top league in the world, which is the Canadian Hockey League. And if they don't make it to the NHL, give these kids a chance to play NCAA hockey. And I think it would just be great.
And get scouted again. Realistically, I mean, it gives them another shot.
And the reason they say that our players are ineligible is because we have players on our rosters that are already signed NHL contracts, and they've already got their signing bonuses.
And they have agents.
They don't have agents. They got advisors, and so do players in the NCAA. They got advisors. So the main thing is that a number of our players have been paid their signing bonus. That taints them. However, they let them play in the World Junior. All right, so the U.S. team will take players from the U.S. that have been signed NHL contracts and let those kids play in the World Junior. So they're kind of it's not real consistent. Let's just say that. Well, I hope that someday that happens.
Yeah, you would think there'd be an accommodation, and that is to say, if you don't have an NHL contract, then you can play NCAA. I understand if you have an NHL contract, you're considered a pro.
Yeah,
you're paid.
Yeah.
All right, that's one set of circumstances.
Yeah.
But at least give these other youngsters a chance.
Absolutely.
It just boggles my mind sometimes how the NCAA does things.
No, I know they. I think they're short-sighted on this one. I think it'd be great for the game. It'd be best for really. We do these things for who? We do it for the kids, for the players. These players deserve an opportunity to develop. Some of them are late bloomers, right? And now our players can go to Canadian University in Canada. It's called CIS in Canada. So it's their version of NCAA in Canada. So, and it's great hockey. So the players still can develop there. But once they leave us, if they don't sign a pro contract, so your listeners know, many of them do, that we have to pay for an education package for them for 4 years of education. So that's one of the largest items in our budget, actually, is the future education packages.
Yep.
So we have to pay for 4 years of school for this young man.
Which you had to do during 2020 in the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. We had to pay all that. So expenses continue. Yeah, revenue did not, but expenses did.
We're going to take a break and come back and talk about the team and what to expect here coming up beginning October 7th. I want to tell you here at Wolf Files, where we're broadcasting today, their annual surplus lawn and garden equipment auction comes along this Sunday, beginning at 10 a.m. here at 5818 State Street. You can come out today and see all the equipment lined up on the grass just to the east of the building. It's a large-scale auction. You'll find Cub Cadet, JD, Skag, Craftsman, all kinds of tractors, all kinds of walk-behind. And most of the tractors are sold with mower decks. Some have tillers and blades. It's a large all-season outdoor equipment auction. And again, you can come out today and inspect a lot of the equipment. You can go on to WegnerAuctioneers.com and look for auction updates. Again, it will be this Sunday, 10 a.m. here at 5818 State Street in Saginaw, their annual surplus lawn and garden equipment auction. And I should point out, too, that at the Saginaw Township Business Association's meeting, Wolfile was named Business of the Year yesterday. Congratulations to Dave Wolfile and the staff here at Wolfiles. We'll be back with more after these notes.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found.
Yeah, that's interesting too, because we kind of did a little bit of a analysis, and it appears there's a huge appetite amongst our fans, our season ticket holders, for returning.
I don't go a day without somebody asking me to get hockey back.
You're no kidding. Yeah, no, it's going to be, the appetite is huge. So, when it comes to, there's going to be some hesitancy, I think. Initially, I think that's what's neat about the Major League Baseball and everything else. They're going to pave the way for us.
Yeah.
The Loons will pave the way. People are going to buy. I bet by the middle of August, the Dow Diamond's going to be full.
Yeah, they're hoping.
Yeah.
I know they plan on it. We had lunch with Chris Mudhank the other day. That he's been elevated to president.
He's a good guy. I like him.
Smart. And he knows that business. He's been around it for decades.
I got a lot of time for him.
Yeah. Which is good. I think it's good because you guys have a good relationship.
We do. Yeah.
I know they respect the Spirit organization.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. Yeah. No, we've got.
In fact, I know they learned a lot from the Spirit organization.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, no doubt about it.
We do with corporate sales and the like.
No, we're paving the way. We definitely paved the way for them. There's no doubt. But we definitely are good partners.
I like your mower.
You know what? We moved.
Oh, you sold it.
Yeah, we moved, so we're not
That's
living.
right.
We're not living with that big lawn anymore.
That's right. I
Yeah.
remember you told me that.
Yeah. We had 8 acres of perfectly manicured lawn. Looked like a golf course. But yeah, that mower was awesome.
I got a stupid question. What the hell are all those trimmers in the corner?
Those that are put in somebody's garage. That's our. We're running out of space. Everybody keeps coming out with new models.
Oh, so
I mean, Cub Cadet, Gravely, DR, Steel. There's nowhere to put all this shit anymore. So we need a supply of these because you're selling
you
10,
sell those a lot, right?
10, 12 a day, 15 a day.
Is that right?
Oh yeah. So you got to have you just keep building them up, put them out there, and put them out the door. And I already sold a half dozen a day already.
Yeah.
You know, and like yesterday we sold one that was $1,300.
A trimmer.
Yeah.
$1,300 trimmer.
It's a brush cutter, but looks just like a big.
You got to be serious about trimming.
Oh, yeah, you got to be real serious about trimming it.
It's a brush cutter. You know, you can.
So it edges and everything. Yeah.
No, it's
Just
a
trim.
trimmer.
Wow.
But you can take down trees like that with the right blades on it.
Wow. Oh, it's a bladed one as opposed to a string
With
trimmer.
you can do anything you want. No, it comes as a string trimmer.
Yeah.
But you can put 3 different breast blades and 2 different saw blades.
That's all you can have. Yeah, interchangeable edge.
But my
Well,
wife,
it's just the blade.
My
You
wife
take
bought one of
the
your
head off the
Hondas
blade.
last year too. We love that.
Right. That's a nice machine, isn't it?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thing's awesome. I mean, you can tell the difference between my cut and my neighbor's cut.
Oh yeah.
I
Plus
mean,
you keep that blade sharp. And you're
yeah,
good
oh
to
yeah,
go.
yeah. Your guys sharpen them all the time. I got like 3
Right.
sets.
They're
of blades.
tricky to sharp too.
Yeah.
You got to know what
Are they?
they're doing. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a curve to them.
I bring them in here.
And you got to work around
Yeah.
when you're sharpening. You got to work around that
Is that right?
curve.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go.
Good seeing it.
Yeah, have a good one.
That's why we created Mammoth Nation. We're standing strong for all of us. Mammoth Nation is America's preeminent discount.
We'll have to sit down and talk about the season and what we're going to do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'll leave it up to you, Art. I mean, you've earned that with me.
Well, yeah, but
I know you want to keep Denny in the mix, but
yeah, we got to do what's good for the team too.
yeah. Well, you are good for the team.
100%.
100%. 100%. No, I want to honor what you want to do, so we'll talk about it.
Join now.
We'll see what Charlie wants to do and see what, we'll go from there.
This month, just 19. It can pay for itself with just one purchase. So go to mammothnation.com and become a lifetime member.
We're looking at this power sports thing.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and sitting next to me here at Wolf Files, the president managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. All right, let's talk a little hockey now, and the kids coming back. First of all, how much of the core of that terrific team that we had will we get back?
Well, you know, we're hoping to have Cole Perfetti back. We talked about it earlier. Tristan Lennox, the goaltender.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He's, of course, candidate for the Canadian World Junior team next year. And he's played at a number of international events for Hockey Canada. He likely has got a chance to be the top goaltender in the Canadian Hockey League next year. So if you can keep it out of our net, we'll win a lot of hockey games. And so we got a great goaltender. And, you know, with Cole Perfetti back, Mitchell Smith is going to play a huge role. Saginaw's Mitchell Smith on the back end. So you're gonna see a lot of talented kids that are back next year. We did lose a huge amount of highly talented players that would have been on last year's team, this year's team. So we are in a bit of a restart, but it's really kind of it's not really a rebuild. It's just a.
You still have a good solid core.
No doubt. And Davis T1 Cod is special. He's going to be likely on the top. Chris Lazary, of course, he makes all those calls, but I'm sure Davis T1 Cod is likely to be a top 6 forward for us, and Josh Boone. So we've got a number of significant players coming back.
They were both talking in that interview about how they've stayed in shape and that they've been working with certain coaches in the off season. They skate every day. They get out, and that's important for these kids because these are career kids.
They are ready to play right now. So that's what's the changes from now to the way things were even 15 years ago. Is the kids will go back home and they go play golf and hang out with their friends and the like. Well, not anymore. They go back home and they work out.
Yeah, well, I would do that with any of them. I wouldn't do that with T-Bone.
Yeah, no, T-Bone's pretty good golfer. Yeah. It's a 340 yards. I saw it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Does he really?
Yeah. I saw him drive the 15th green at Applebaum. Actually, no, it's 14th. 14th is a short par 4. They put it right in the middle of the green, 340 yards away. Yeah, my tee ball didn't land there.
Yeah, you're a scratch golfer. Don't give me that nonsense. I know you. You and Dick, don't play with either of you. Leave your money in your pocket. When will ticket packages become available?
Well, our staff is working on that right now, and we do expect to be getting communication out to our season ticket holders now between now and the middle of June, and we are planning on full capacity, and we're going to be selling our programs, ticketing, and our sponsorships based on full capacity starting in October. And so it's exciting times. We're not going to increase prices; they're going to stay the same. Obviously, under these situations, we didn't think it was appropriate, even though the team lost a significant amount of money during this time. This is no time to do that. So we're going to do all we can to keep the prices where they're at, and also take a look at how other ways that we can help support the fans.
Yeah, we should point out too. I don't know that people realize this, but without Dick Garber, this doesn't happen because the team is not a huge profit center. I mean,
No.
you're lucky if you break even most years.
No, Dick makes this happen. Dick has done this for the community. This is kind of he'd never say this, but this is a gift.
But that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's a gift from him to the community, and that the team is not profitable. The CHL teams, it takes about $3.25 million a year now to operate a CHL team, and we generate right around that amount of revenue. But typically, we're short of that. So it's whatever we're short of. Mr. Garber has been, he's taking care of that. So it's
that was the big story when he was first told about the availability of the franchise, and he asked how much it takes to operate it, and they said, about $1.5 million a year.
Yeah,
$3.5 million later, here we are.
Yeah, that was Ren Blair, and Ren
Blair was the guy.
Ren's nose started to grow right after he made that statement, and we soon found out that it was not $1.5 million. So it's a significant amount. If it continues to rise, and the challenge in sports, and not just in our league, but all sports, is that revenues are not matching expense rising, and so we have to certainly manage that. So.
Greg, thanks for spending some time with us this morning.
You,
we look forward to October 7th.
It's exciting, and
I
can't wait to welcome our fans into the arena. I'll be there with a smiling face and a handshake. So
all right. We'll be back after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
Thanks, Art. That was great as always. You're the absolute best. I could if I talk to you like we're just you and I are talking. So it's
that's what I try to do. I mean, that's my job.
Yeah, but you are the best. I'm telling you. No, not even close. Not even close, Art. We're looking at this Ryder Power Sports building for the Spirit Store. What do you think of that? So we'd move it in there, and then
the store in there and offices too, or
corporate offices and everything. Right
looking to buy it?
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you. How the hell does Dick do it? Every car lot around here is so thin on cars, you can drive a tractor truck through any of them. You can't walk on his lot. He's got cars on both sides of the street. Where the hell did he get them?
Made in China. All made in China.
Is that what it is?
Buicks are all made in China.
All of them?
Yeah, other than the time.
No kidding.
Yep.
A diverse race.
That's good news, bad news.
It's bad news. Well, actually,
good news because you got something to
they
sell.
assemble some of them here. All right, but most of them.
Parts come in from China and they got the chips.
Yep. Buick's got chips. Yeah. That's exactly right. That's exactly what's going on.
God.
Right, wrong, or different. That's the way it is. I know. It is. It's a kick in the drawers. It's a staple.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave. How are you? Good. Hey, congratulations on your Saginaw Township thing. Thank you very much. That's terrific. It's so well earned. You guys are a staple.
We appreciate the honor.
Staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness.
Appreciate your business.
Well, you guys have been a supporter of the community.
1, 2, 3.
Proven quality service. Save $1,000 on the new Smart Number 360 Special Edition Smart Bed, $17.99. Plus special financing and special financing.
Thank you for your business.
You bet.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, Dave. Yeah.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show from Wolf Isles, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. And coming up next hour, we're going to have open phones, whatever you'd like to chat about on this Friday. We'll have Open Line Friday for you. And we remind you that the big auction comes up this Sunday here at Wolf Isles Hardware. their annual surplus lawn and garden equipment auction. Wagner Auctioneers will be conducting the auction. Coming up, we have news at the top of the hour, CBS News. And after that, the local report, bringing you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. And then we'll be back with more. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good deal. Good.
CBS News on the hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The head of the CDC is fleshing out new guidelines on unmasking indoors if you're fully vaccinated.
What we're really doing is empowering individuals to make decisions about their own health.
Zelensky tells CBS this morning,
if you're unvaccinated, then you have made the decision to take that risk. And we are really encouraging people who are unvaccinated not to take the risk.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The Pentagon now says with the updated CDC guidance, fully vaccinated Defense Department personnel are no longer required to wear masks indoors or outdoors at military facilities. Same time, the memo says supervisors should not ask about an employee's vaccination status, but commanders can make exceptions to these rules if necessary. The Smithsonian opened several museums in Washington, D.C. today. USA TV's Michael Quandt.
Everyone 2 years old will need to wear masks during their visits. Social distancing guidelines will be in place, and visitors need to get free time entry passes before coming.
GOP lawmakers have just voted to make New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik the number 3 ranking House Republican. California's Darrell Issa.
We're united, and we're looking forward to basically stopping Joe Biden from destroying America.
The secret ballot vote was 134 to 46. Roy was also hoping to replace Liz Cheney, demoted this week for continuing to speak out against former President Trump. His reaction? The House GOP is united, and the Make America Great Again movement is strong. In northern Gaza, loved ones mourning the deaths of 6 family members in an Israeli airstrike. More than 100 Palestinians and at least 8 Israelis killed in reciprocal strikes this week. Israeli tanks and troops are now amassed at the border. Drivers on the East Coast are fed up as more gas stations run out of fuel.
When is it going to stop? When is it going to balance out and start going back the other way?
The Colonial Pipeline is back online, but the company says it'll take a few more days to return to a normal fuel flow. According to Gas Buddy, percent of stations in Washington, D.C. have nothing to pump. 72% in North Carolina have run dry. New numbers from the CDC show overdose deaths in the U.S. jumped by 30% during the pandemic. Wade Shannon is with the DEA in San Francisco. He says part of the problem is...
You don't have to go to a dark alley now to buy drugs. You can certainly buy your drugs online and they're coming to you.
Been a 45% increase in OD deaths in California. Dow futures up. They make that Dow up 300. CBS News.
Looking to hire? Indeed will help you speed up the process. They have 135 skills tests to help you find the right candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit BigLou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. On meds, too. Hi, this is Joe Cordell at the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years. Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
60 degrees at 10:04. Good morning. I'm Williams.
A man reported missing in Tuscola County Wednesday was found and held by state police troopers from Coast. Police believed, or rather received, a missing person call around 11 p.m. from a 53-year-old man's wife, who told them he hadn't returned to their Kingston Township home from his hunting property. The man was last seen driving from a friend's home on a tractor through 168 acres back to his vehicle. Troopers conducted a search of the area and found the man on the ground near the tractor in 35-degree weather. Police say he had been lying in a secluded area for about 3 hours. The troopers were able to bring the man around, and he chest pains. They commandeered a pickup truck to take him to a waiting ambulance. While en route, he lost consciousness, stopped breathing, and had no pulse. The troopers resuscitated the man and got him to the ambulance, where he was taken to a local hospital. His condition is currently unknown. Several Saginaw Township businesses were recognized for their work during what proved to be a tough year for many others. Awards were given out at this year's Saginaw Township State of the Township Address, acknowledging those who not only served the pandemic in 2020, but grew. Township Manager James Rickman says this year awards were given out to multiple businesses per category due to last year's event being canceled, and the growth of the businesses proved better for the community in every respect.
Anytime somebody invests in the community, it really helps the whole community. It's a rising tide raises all ships. Every time they create a job, not only through the construction process of construction jobs, but in expanding and growing their business, that really has a positive to the rest of our economy.
Winners included ABC Supply Company and Covenant Healthcare, the new construction, Franklin Credit Union, Michigan Health Clinic, Yaya's Spring-Broiled Chicken for renovation and redevelopment, with Wolf Files Ace Hardware taking Business of the Year awards. The Saginaw County Health Department will offer the Pfizer vaccine to anyone 12 years of age and older who lives or works in Saginaw County starting Tuesday at a convenience store location at the former Sears department store across the store mall. Walk-ins are welcome from 9 to 4 and on Wednesdays from 2:30 to 6:30 now through June 30th at that location. Minors must be accompanied by a parent or guardian. Residents are encouraged to follow the Saginaw County Health Department on Facebook for other pop-up vaccination clinics at Sears and other locations, including one this Saturday at Sears for the Johnson & Johnson one-dose vaccine for those 18 and older. Parents weighing the decision on whether or not to vaccinate their children 12 to 15 are encouraged to speak with their primary care provider and to watch the Saginaw County Health Department's most recent Facebook Live event. The health officer, Christina Harrington, and medical director, Dr. Teresa Pruitt, which will, you can find on the department's Facebook page. WSCW News Time is 10:07.
I'm attorney Jerry Ripe, and I have practiced elder law, estate planning, asset and business protection planning in Michigan for over 3 decades. As a veteran, I've also helped veterans and their spouses in a special VA program. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you have learned to work and have your questions answered, such as, can I protect my stuff from the government and long-term care? What is the difference between revocable and irrevocable? How can I avoid probate? And do I need to? Can I give my stuff to the kids or others? Know the rules and what solutions work. Get answers to your questions.
If your planning is more than 5 years old, you may have missed some great opportunities. Call 989-790-1461 to attend Attorney Jerry Rice's free workshop, How to Protect Your Stuff in 3 Easy Steps. This workshop is on Thursday, o'clock in Saginaw at the Kapoka Community Credit Union. Call 989-790-1461 today or register online at jerryrifelawyer.com.
WSCW News Time is 10:08. State officials are warning that fire danger is high around Michigan, and residents should be careful with campfires, debris burning, and other activities. The Forest Resources Division of the Michigan Department of Natural Resources says even though the landscape and grasses are very dry, fire can escape and move quickly due to the dry air and dry fuels. Fuels include things such as dry gas, brush, and down tree branches. If you plan to burn dry debris, first check Michigan.gov/burn permit or whether your local municipality to ensure burning is permitted in your area. Keep your fire at least 10 feet away from logs, stumps, or other debris, and make sure no branches are hanging overhead. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service personnel will apply lampricides to the Shiawassee River system in Shiawassee and Saginaw counties to kill sea lamprey larvae burrowed in the stream bottom. The applications will be conducted from May 25th to the June 3rd. Those dates are tentative and may change based on weather and other factors. Sea lamprey larvae live in certain Great Lakes tributaries and transport adults that migrate to the Great Lakes. The U.S. The Fish and Wildlife Service says failure to kill the larvae would damage the Great Lakes fishery. Infested tributaries have to be treated every
Chance of rain showers here for the sunny, otherwise partly sunny. High temperatures in the low 70s. I'm meteorologist Derek Dahlman with the WSCW Weatherology forecast. Right 53.
Chance to ask your questions from around your block to around the world. The Outdoors Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show, coming to you, as you can see in the background, not at home. If you're watching us on twitch.tv or Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, as you can see, we are not at home. We're at Wofiles, 5818 State Street in Saginaw for their annual surplus lawn and garden equipment sale. We'll be telling you all about that during the hour. Also on Focus, coming up after the 11 o'clock news this morning, Regional President of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North, Dr. Stephanie Duggan, will be joining us. For now, we're going to have open phones this hour, whatever's on your mind. Saginaw, Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free inside the state of Michigan is 866-790 WSGW. If you're outside the state of Michigan, you can call us at 989-752-6111. Love to talk to folks from around the country, wherever you are. We'd be happy to chat with you about whatever's on your mind. We had last hour, of course, Craig Goslin with us, the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit, talking about the October 7th start of the Ontario Hockey League, and they're hoping to do that with full capacity. The CDC has just come out with recommendations that if you are vaccinated, you no longer have to wear a mask in outdoor gatherings and many indoor events. However, it needs to be pointed out that that is the CDC's recommendation. Be aware that the state of Michigan has not come out with that yet, although they are examining the CDC recommendations. But private businesses can still require you to wear a mask. So if you go into the big box stores that have a sign on their door that says masks required, they will have you put on a mask. And I have a feeling that's going to be around for some time. until I think the CDC lifts mask requirements altogether. I suspect that we're going to have a mask requirement. All right, we have Mark with us in Mount Pleasant, so we'll go to our phones this morning and say good morning to Mark. Good morning. I'm doing well. Hope you are too.
Well, yesterday, former Governor Granholm took a victory lap on the ransom on the Colonial Pipeline and getting that back up and running.
Sounds like your
barter system is really caught me that I thought was great for Governor Whitmer.
You said $329.99
on national TV like pipeline work.
Just put it on the back of one of the upper.
She ought to chat with Whitmer.
Would you want me to pull it up over here on this corner? Like angle it so I can see it?
I would recommend that they get with Granholm and
that's where that light is.
maybe a little firewall and try to keep that open.
Yeah.
We could probably get good funding for it right now since the Energy Secretary Granholm, he's all for it.
Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? Yeah, that is really interesting. Well, Line 5 is still open. Enbridge had no intention of shutting it down. Even though the governor demanded it, but she demanded it without an alternative. What was she going to do if they shut it down? We were going to look like the East Coast for the rest of our time, because it was estimated that it would take, I think I read it would take 2,150 tanker trucks continually moving on the highways to transport that fluid and that fuel, and the devastation to the highways, the impact to the environment, which she is so big on, would be enormous. And it made no sense to me, particularly since they're in the throes of developing a plan to put a tunnel in and redo the lines, put them down so that they will never be struck again by anything. It made no sense that all of a sudden she comes out with all the things going on. Why she thought that was important? She had to be yielding to somebody's pressure someplace.
Right. Yeah, I just feel like Chuck Schumer says never let a crisis go to waste. The colonial shutdown, I think if we just all get some funding, and we could do that tunnel.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'm sure the Granholm can find some money for it. She likes them. It works well. Hey, Mark, I appreciate it. Have fun. Thanks. You too. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now. Now, it is one of those, I don't know, it's a paradox. I mean, here he's absolutely right. Here, the energy secretary, the former governor of the state of Michigan, also a Democrat, talks about the efficacy of pipelines and the fact that they're the best way to transport all these fluids. And in this case, Enbridge transports oil and natural gas through their twin pipeline. And her Democratic counterpart here in the state of Michigan is trying to shut it down before there's any kind of plan to replace it. It made no sense. The timing was suspect. Let's put it that way. And just to issue an order and say, I demand that it be shut down. Well, Enbridge wisely ignored that demand. It's sitting in court right now. Enbridge has got the case moved to a federal court, and they feel reasonably assured that they will prevail. I suspect that might be the case too, but again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on the radio. It will be interesting to watch, but it just seemed that the timing of the order to shut down a necessary pipeline delivering much of the fuel that we use in this part of the country made no sense. Made no sense at all. Anyway, I tell you what will make sense. How about saving some money on surplus lawn and garden equipment? Well, that's what you can do here at Wohlfeil's Hardware, 5818 State Street in Saginaw, because they are having their annual surplus lawn and garden equipment sale put on by Wegner Auctioneers. It's going to be this Sunday here on site, beginning at 10 a.m. And there will be people here to direct you where you can park. There is a big grass field and there's other areas. They will be telling you where you can park your cars. This is a big auction. It happens every year. A lot of equipment. I mean, there's over 50 riding tractors out there. There's over 100 push mowers out there, and all kinds of accessory equipment. Plus, usually they have a hardware cart out there too. And I'll have to check with Scott over on the hardware side to see if they're going to have a cart out this year. You can inspect right now. If you come out today, all the equipment is lined up outside, and you can take a look at it, decide what you want to bid on, then come back Sunday, beginning at 10 a.m. I'd get here a little early. One note, of course, 6% Michigan sales tax applies to all sales. And most tractors are sold with mower decks. Some have tillers and blades. It's a large all-season outdoor equipment auction. Inspection goes on today and tomorrow, and then Sunday is the day. And you can go online to Wegner Auctioneers at WegnerAuctioneers.com. That's WEGNER Auctioneers.com. And see more, or you can stop in here and pick up a flyer. And then be here Sunday, 10 o'clock at Wolfiles for their annual surplus equipment sale, surplus lawn and garden equipment sale. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more. Lines open for your calls at 752-6111, toll free 866-790 WSGW. More ahead on the Art Lewis Show.
For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. Rust-proofing and undercoating. The exclusive process which is renewal using at Linex have the only wax-based rust-proofing military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection. In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty. No early touch-ups required. And because the rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV. Around. Linex is located in Wilder Road in Bay City. Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000. Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty. So no early touch-up required. Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000. Ask today. Undercoated. Prescription products require online consultation of the healthcare provider and are only available at the provider determines the prescriptions appropriate subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information. Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And hence makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free at free. Zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. HIMS connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. HIMS makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to HIMS, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com. That's forhims.com/radio for your free online visit. forhims.com/radio. I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher despite a weaker than expected retail sales report. Americans held off on buying some things last month. Retail sales for spending on clothing, furniture, and general merchandise declined. Sales increased at restaurants and bars. Investor optimism appears to have improved. Fed Governor Christopher Waller is signaling the Fed will hold off on higher interest rates until it sees excessively high inflation. Walt Disney reported a strong quarter and signed up more than 8.5 million new Disney Plus subscribers, though that is perceived for the streaming service. And Carnival's Germany-based AIDA Cruises is expanding its summer vacation program with bookings available May 26th. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jennifer Silva, invested in you. Having your own home is awesome, but it's also a lot of work. The good news? Finding help for your projects is easier than ever. Introducing Angie, the app that puts all your home care needs at your fingertips. Need a pro to fix that emergency leak? Maybe find someone to build a deck, or even set your seasonal tasks on autopilot. Angie can handle all that and more. Expert pros, hundreds of home projects, clear pricing, and the easiest way to book and pay in second. Angie, your home for everything home. Download the app today.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis, weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. Your local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, coming to you from Wolf Files, 5818 State Street, the big auction coming up this weekend. Couple of things, just a quick mention of this one. I don't know if you've seen this or not. Tim Tebow has been hired, if you will, acquired by, I think, Jacksonville Jaguars, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to be a tight end for the Jags, and there are a lot of people questioning that right now because he's not the youngest guy in the league anymore. But it will be interesting to see what happens, how well he does. More power to him. More power to him. The other thing, and this sort of surprised me, I was taken a little bit off guard yesterday because there was a story yesterday morning that Colonial Pipelines had not paid a ransom to get their lines back online. But apparently they did. Somewhere around $5 million is what Jennifer Granholm told us, Secretary of Energy. And it allows them now to reopen their line. I guess the fuel is flowing again. It will take a while for it to get to the gas stations that need it. But, you have to wonder where else is ransomware going to hit? How critically vulnerable is our infrastructure? Because if it's vulnerable to hackers who can literally seize your entire operation, and from what I understand, if, let's say, you have all of your information backed up to the cloud, for example, my understanding of the way this works is if the hackers freeze your computer and all your data, if you try to recover it from the cloud, it also gets infected and put on, hiatus and, if you will, shut down because you can't use it. So I just, it seems to me that we better be paying a lot of attention to this in this country. I would have to bet this Colonial Pipeline hack has raised the hairs on the back of a lot of necks. And you just have to ask yourself, what is next? Because you knew that if this could happen, what else could happen? And not just to something like a pipeline and a private company, but what about government infrastructure? And what about all of the data on all of us that government holds and other companies hold? Let's face it. If you think you're isolated and nobody knows who you are and what you do, think again. If you have a smartphone, there's a reason it's called a smartphone. it's smart enough to know where you are and what you're doing. If you have a computer, same thing is true. Now, if you don't have a smartphone and you don't have a computer and you never go on the internet, you never buy anything online, chances are you're probably safer than most of us. But if you do any of those electronic things at all on the internet, ever, your information is stored someplace or more than one place. And how long will it be before your information becomes compromised? This is a forefront issue. We should be paying as much attention to fixing this and protecting ourselves as we do protecting our country with military force. John is in Bay City, so let's say good morning to John. Morning.
Maybe some lawyer might be interested in taking it up. McDonald's restaurant downtown Bay City, and there's another one doing it too, but I'm not sure where it's located. On the inside lobby, you can drive through and pick cash to the drive-through, and then go back in and sit and eat your food. So I think that's.
Well, wait. I got to ask you this. Can you go inside and eat? Are you telling me the dining room at McDonald's is open?
Yes, downtown.
Must be only one of them because I haven't seen any that way.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if it's the one on Broadway or not.
it's not discrimination because you have a choice.
Yeah.
You have a choice. So it's not discrimination. Well, you just told.
You can't go through drive-through with just walking. You gotta have a car to drive through there.
Yeah.
To buy your food if you want to pay cash.
Yeah. Well, I hate to break the news, but I doubt if a lawyer will take the case. But who knows? And you always have a choice. You go someplace else. I mean, that's business. So good enough, John. Thanks. Bye-bye now. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, toll free is 866-790, WSGW here at Wolf Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw, and the Saginaw Township Business of the Year. Congratulations to Dave Wolfile and the staff for achieving that. Great business and tremendous hardware store. I was down, walked down the other end, talked to Scott in the hardware department. They carry, of course, Weber grills, and Weber has a new line of grills called Smokefire. They're pellet burning grills, electric pellet controlling grills. Big full grill, but it works on pellets instead of gas. Interesting. We'll tell you more about it, but just thought I'd mention the fact that the company is now the Business of the Year here in Saginaw Township. A nice honor for them to have, to say the least. What else is going on? Just have to talk about this just for a couple of minutes with the CDC recommendation about unmasking. There are questions. Lots of questions. The CDC says that if you are fully vaccinated, you do not have to wear a mask outside in groups, and you don't have to wear one indoors, but that's not a mandate. They still say in situations where you're in crowds, you should probably wear a mask. And of course, business have the right to demand that you wear a mask. The question is, how are they going to respond to the new mask mandates? How will the box stores, for example, or any store, any businessman, including here at Wolf House, how will they respond to the mask mandate? Now, I think what's going to happen is nothing is going to happen here in Michigan until the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services comes to terms with the mandate or the lack of mandate now from the CDC. I think that it's going to be a while before we see Michigan agree totally to what the CDC says. For me personally, and this is just me personally, this is the way I look at it. When I go in stores, I'm sitting here in Wolf Files right now because I'm doing this. My mask is off. I have it sitting right here next to me. I'll continue to wear a mask because I think it's a smart thing to do. But it's, I'm looking forward to the day when they say I don't have to, because I have to be honest, I'm not a fan of them. I don't like wearing it. But I will because I think it's a smart thing to do, even though it's not me that I'm worried about. I'm fully vaccinated, but I worry about others, or I worry about picking it up and giving it to others. So I'll continue to wear them. It's going to be a while, I think, before we see everything open up as it was pre-pandemic. We've got a little ways to go. I think it's a little over half of America has first shot vaccination. And that will improve now that we are inoculating youngsters, 12 to 15-year-olds. Those numbers are going to go up. The faster we get to that 60, 70%, and that's a floating number in terms of herd immunity, the better off we're going to be. If you haven't been vaccinated, and I understand there are those people who are hesitant for a lot of reasons. Some say, well, it was too quick. The vaccines were done too fast. I don't know how safe they are. The reality is the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines were not done quickly. You could probably say they were done quickly as to the specific strain, but the type of vaccine they are, the mRNA, the messenger vaccine, has been developed over a period of a decade and a half. Work was begun on it back in 2005, maybe even a little before that, because they were looking for this type of vaccine for other types of diseases. So the basic fundamental knowledge was already there. The specific strain was a little different, but it didn't take all that long to create it because they already had the base. So get vaccinated. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show from Wolf Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw.
I'm attorney Jerry Wright, and I have practiced elder law, estate planning, asset and business protection planning in Michigan for over 3 decades. As a veteran, I've also helped veterans and their spouses benefit from special programs. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you've learned the rules, what solutions work, and had your questions answered, such as, can I protect my stuff from the government and long-term care costs? What is the difference between revocable and irrevocable trust? How can I avoid probate? And do I need to? Can I give my stuff to the kids? Every single know the rules and what solutions work. Get answers to your questions.
If your planning is more than 5 years old, you may have listened to call 989-790-1461 to attend Attorney Jerry Rice's free workshop, How to Protect Your Stuff in 3 Easy Steps. This workshop is on Thursday, June 18th at 2 o'clock in Saginaw at the Capoco Community Credit Union. Call 989-790-1461 or register online at jerrywrightlawyer.com.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? What are you up to, buddy?
Hey, my snowboard. Sons Company is your local John Deere dealer. We are here to help you farm in Michigan. We offer
There's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, a lot of shit out there.
And they're bringing more. Evidently, this guy over here just wheeled in. He's got a couple more units.
But yeah, he said he had to go pick up a bunch this morning.
Marty mentioned to me that he didn't know if he was going to have a jewelry wagon.
Yeah, I forgot to ask Scott. I was going to ask Scott.
Because
Oh, Dave wanna know.
he doesn't think he's going to have time.
$4.99
Dave's out.
That's a $6 savings.
Oh, he's looking at the stuff we brought in.
O'Reilly Auto Parts today or O'ReillyAuto.com.
I got a lot of products, but there's some dealers, Cub Cadet dealers don't have this inventory.
I asked Craig, how does Garber have all those cars when nobody else does? They're all made in China, except for the Enclave. They're all coming over from China, and they've got chips.
Really?
So you got to be kidding me. He says, nope. China and elsewhere.
Yeah.
Learn more about precision agriculture, ag data, and the newest technology.
I would never guess. Well, I know, like Ford, unless you go down to the big cities like Varsity Ford, they've got inventory. Where they got it from, I don't know. But Hagen, all these guys around here.
McDonald over here, GMC.
Yeah.
You could put tractor trailers everywhere in there and not block anything. I've never seen that few cars on that dealership. Thalen's got vehicles. He's been getting them.
Well, Shaver Beer Line gets them. I mean,
Yeah,
Chrysler seems to be getting them.
They've been getting them.
I don't know. I don't know what Billy's doing.
I don't think he has much choice. He can't get product.
Presented by John.
He hasn't been pulling the strings the right way the last few years. I don't know. I see he put a liquor store in right next to Nori. So that doesn't hurt Nori one bit. Because I noticed there were so many cars in that parking lot all the time. Trying to figure out why.
Nori's been busy as hell.
Oh, I know. They've been doing great. How's Bringer doing?
It's a different drama every day, but it's the same people still go in there.
Yeah.
So despite herself.
Yes,
wonder how long that's going to last.
I don't know.
News coverage on WSG.
He's having staffing problems.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, back with you here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW from Wolf Files Hardware. And Bill is in Saginaw Township. Bill, good morning.
All of your wonderful listeners.
Same to you, thanks.
You mentioned something about discrimination, and something has come to my attention that I'd like to have you investigate right away. I found out that all over the United States there are gazillions of grocery stores, restaurants that are perfectly willing to soup to illiterate people.
They're perfectly willing to do what? I missed that.
To illiterate people. No, it's obvious. As much as a learner, I think
wonderful. Have yourself a terrific day. Bye-bye. Alphabet soup to illiterate people. Oh, my goodness gracious. Cute. I like that, actually, though. Every now and then we get somebody call in with a humorous little anecdote like that. It's kind of fun, and you just never know. So going back to talking about masks and the choice of wearing them or not wearing them. The question is what's going to happen to those who are not vaccinated, and what's going to be the requirements, and at what point will vaccines, if they can, be mandated. Now, I noticed, for example, Delta Airlines is going to require new employees to be vaccinated. Apparently, you can't demand it of current employees because it becomes an extra condition of employment, I guess, or something like that. And because there are unions involved with the airlines, they can't just simply mandate everybody get vaccinated. But they can demand that new employees become vaccinated. It's going to be interesting to see how many companies do that. What can schools do? Can they mandate that your youngster be vaccinated? They already do for other types of vaccinations. Can they mandate that their teachers and their employees be vaccinated? It's going to be interesting. We're in untested waters. We don't know what the new normal is going to be like. I do believe that we are going to get used to the mask to a point where we will use it for other things. Once we control COVID-19, for example, can you see the day when people will routinely wear masks during flu season, for example? They do it in other countries. Japan has been doing it for years and years and years. And what's interesting now is Japan is getting hit with a wave of COVID-19 just at the time when they are promoting the heck out of the Olympics. That's going to be something else to watch. Will the Olympics actually happen? Because there is a tremendous surge in COVID-19 in Japan. How long before they say, wait a minute, and have to cancel? Or will they? They've already said that no foreigners will be allowed at the games, other than the athletes and coaches, press. So if you're a parent of an Olympian, doesn't matter, you can't go. Only Japanese citizens will be in the stands at the games. And they're way behind on vaccinating in Japan. And they don't have a lot of time now. The games are what? 2 months away? Only 2 months to get their house in order. Will they do it? Don't know. Wolf Files is where we're broadcasting today, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. Terry Henney's Farm Show will come from here too. The huge annual surplus lawn and garden equipment auction that features over 50 lawn and garden tractors, and they just brought some more in. They've been out picking them up. And approximately 100 walk-behind mowers, as well as related equipment. It is a large sale featuring Cub Cadet, JD, Skag, Craftsman, with additional trade-ins all the time, coming in all the time. 6% Michigan sales tax applies to all sales. No warranty available on the used equipment. Most tractors are sold with mower decks. Some have tillers and blades. It's an all-season outdoor equipment auction, and the inspection is going on from now through 10 a.m. Sunday, because that is the time of the auction. Sunday, 10 a.m. here on site at Wolf Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. They will direct you to parking. And there's no minimum, no reserve, no buyer's premium, cash and checks with proper ID. And come on out. You can see the website for complete listings, photos, and updates at WegnerAuctioneers.com, WEGNER Auctioneers.com. This Sunday, May 16th, 10 a.m., here at 5818 State Street in Saginaw, the large lawn and garden equipment auction here at Wolf Files Hardware. We will be back with more here on WSGW. Lines are open for you.
Or we could be cozier. Or we could, well, we won't get to, so what's it matter?
Well, it does mean we do have some
want to upgrade our countertops?
And not have any neat vacation pictures to post for everyone?
Are you kidding? With the granite and quartz countertops and a picture from Stone Specialists, we're going to want to show it off.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
Ah, but a stone countertop? That's forever.
I like the way you think.
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. From imagination to installation, they'll guide you through every step of the process. And increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists. Now available by appointment to serve you better with 2 locations in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net or follow us on Facebook. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Stone Specialists bring the romance and natural stone to your home.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up at one of the 26 area Ford Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every single fill up. And when you make purchases in store, you can regularly save 10, 20, even 30 cents off a gallon. Which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and start saving today. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Ford Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pub, go forward.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell at the law firm Cordell & Cordell. If the divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Troy and Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I hear you. There you go.
We're back with you here on WSGW on a beautiful sunny day. Mr. Henney, sit down for a minute. Terry Henney is here, our farm director, and he's also our go-to weather guy. We all see the sun outside. It's beautiful. There's a high-pressure dome sitting not too far from us. That's right. And they're running something inside.
I love live radio.
Live radio. There
and
he
now
is.
live video.
Now
too.
live video too. Yeah. There we go. I want to talk about rain because we're still short, aren't we? And what does this mean to the agriculture industry? How short are we?
Well, we're really short, very, very, very short. I don't know, on the air yesterday, we talked about at this time of the year, we should be right around 11, 12 water equivalent moisture inches. And right now we're at MBS International 4.
Whoa.
So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, okay, we're a quarter of an inch, we're 3/4 of an inch, we're 1.5 inches, you know, below where we should be for a month. But you start adding the first 4 months plus 12 days, 13 days.
Are we officially in a drought?
They call it moderate.
Moderate drought?
Probably because you go a little bit further north, they've had more moisture. And down in southeast Michigan, they've had more moisture as well.
And we really don't want a downpour. We want a nice, steady overnighter, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We could stand it. And I think the folks to the north of us here where we're broadcasting from will agree. You don't want a downpour. What, a year ago?
Yeah.
And all of that hit with the dam.
Oh, and the dam and everything, yeah.
That was a heck of a mess. Yeah, extremes. We just go from one extreme to the other. But in the grand scheme of things, we are exceptionally dry. And we do need the moisture. But we're not the only one. You have to go just a little bit on the other side of Lake Michigan. And you're running into the same situation in Wisconsin. And the Dakotas right now are exceptionally dry. They are in more than moderate
which
dry.
is not good news for us. Because a lot of our weather comes out of there, doesn't it?
Well, and what's really telling is the amount of moisture that the Gulf Coast states have been getting. Massive flooding. New Orleans,
right.
Something like 18 inches of rain over the past couple of months down in that part of the country, and that's all spilled through Alabama into southern Tennessee and then out into the Carolinas. And what's happening is that subtropical jet stream is just cutting everything off. It's only letting it bubble up into the Tennessee Valley, where they've had terrific storms. They had virtually no tornadoes for something like the first 3 months of the year. And all of a sudden now they've had more tornadic activity in April and the beginning of May than they normally would.
Also looks like we broke the back of the frost warnings that we were having. What realistically is the last freeze date around here?
Usually the 20th of May is realistically, and that's why a lot of our nursery folks, and in a couple of weeks you're going to be at Abley Greenhouse, they'll tell you anybody that plants before Memorial Day, you run the risk. That has been the rule of thumb for years.
What does that mean to agriculture? As long as it doesn't sprout up, it's okay?
Yeah, but in the case of the sugar beets, Art, I'm totally amazed. The sugar beet fields that I have seen that went in as early as what they did. I mean, we had 100% planted sugar beets where normal 5-year average is 50% this year. Yeah, they've had some replanting, but not of the scale that I thought they'd have. There are some fields out there that were planted real early. They look beautiful right now. And I've got one just north of my house out in Richville. It's a gorgeous field. And he was one of the first ones to put beets in.
All he needs is water.
Yep. If it isn't one thing, it's another.
I've always wondered, I mean, you know, being a city boy, farming, it's always interested me, but I could never understand why somebody would do it. You don't do it for the financial reasons. You do it for the love of what it is.
Well, my grandfather always told me that, and he made a very special point to my dad at that time. He'd much rather have it dry than have it wet.
Yeah. All right. Terry will be along right after the 11:30 news.
With good news.
With good news. Good.
Yeah.
Good deal. And I'm going to take a break and tell you what's coming up on Focus when we return.
I have a key that I brought it up here. It's probably here. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades.
Stephanie has signed on already.
I'm still amazed at how every year when they had this auction, the weather.
Oh, I mean, this year he's got it good, finally.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering 100% quality.
But yeah, see, they didn't have it last year. So all this stuff is accumulated over literally 2 years.
Why don't you give us a try with this special offer?
So that's why this is really a big deal this year.
Shave gel and a travel cover.
All right.
Marty,
you going to want to do the video or should show that?
No, we can do the video.
All right. Yeah, that'll work. I'll just leave it on.
Harrys.com, code 6677.
Did the Tigers win yesterday?
4-3.
Your day starts before the sun
Wow.
rises.
I think Fulmer came in and shut him down.
Really?
Soto gave up the couple and Fulmer came in and.
Really?
Yep.
I'll tell you, I miss watching the games. I cannot get the games right.
Why not?
Dish TV.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Does not work with.
Yeah, I have Spectrum.
And but you can get it through Dish streaming. So I tried, and no, I have to have an upgrade.
Of course.
My Dish.
Of course.
It's called the Hopper, which is just it's garbage. It's garbage.
You have cable out there?
Nope.
Oh, you don't have cable access. Ah.
So I've got a couple of smart TVs, so I'm trying to figure out. I think
if you have smart
Plus,
if you have smart TVs, you should be able to go on to one of the streaming services. You'd probably have to pay a monthly fee to get it.
And I'm wondering, is it Hulu Plus that
I don't know.
I don't know.
There are so many pluses out there now. I don't know who the hell they are.
Well, that's the other thing. You can't. Can't keep track of who's what where. How's that video thing working as far as with guests?
Fantastic. The only part of it that's problematic is the microphones in these computers, and so sometimes they're a little hollow.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do one right now. And it's a little different here because I have to tap off of this laptop's audio as opposed to my home where I've got it set up with good quality audio.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I tested it earlier. All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Thank you for joining us from Wolf Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. Coming up on Focus, we're going to talk to Dr. Stephanie Duggan, the regional president of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North, about COVID-19 and hospitalizations and all of those good things. I'm Art Lewis. Talk to you right after the news on Focus.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton. This is CBS News on the Hour.
All right, let's see what we want to do here.
I'm Steve Kathan. House Republicans have voted New York's Elise Stefanik to the number 3 leadership post.
I'm very excited for this opportunity. We are as one team.
Her ascension, backed by former President Trump, closes out a struggle that brought down Liz Cheney this week. CBS's Caitlin Katie Burns says now attention turns to 2022.
The Republicans are trying to argue that now, with this new leadership team, they can have this united front on messaging and focus on the 2022 midterms, where they only need.
I'm just kind of curious if that Cheney has got a pretty good following there in her home.
Yeah, she does. I think she'll be all right, actually. Let's do this.
Well, D.C. is one of the places hit hard by the Southeast gas crisis. CBS's Jim Crisilla reports the Colonial Pipeline indicates it'll take several days.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just a second. Talk.
I can keep talking. How's
I
that?
got you. Great. Okay, we're good. I'll talk to you right at 10 after. We'll be back.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself till then.
Okay.
80% of stations in Washington, D.C. are out of gas. 70% of stations in North Carolina are.
Now, did you have to set that up, Art, on yours?
Yeah, what I did, what we discovered, I was having problems for a couple of weeks. The guests never showed up. What we found out was I was setting up the shows, setting up the broadcast, but he was inviting them. Can't do that. If I set it up, I got to invite him. So I told him not to set up today's. I set up today. No. Tomorrow I set it up so I can have my guest on video. He set it up today, but I gave him the email address to send to Stephanie.
Okay.
So that she has the link.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, he got frustrated and sent a nasty email to Dave, frustrated with me because I wasn't taking his guests. I'm not seeing your guests.
Right.
We finally figured out what it was. If he sets it up and I set it up, and I'm using my studio, I can't see his. Got to use my links, not his links.
Right.
So now I use his studio. When I go on in the morning, he's already set the show, and then I just trigger it. So, all right, I'm going to head down to the men's room here.
This is CBS News.
Asset Wealth, personalized and affordable financial
I'm
planning.
going to leave this on then, since I'm not going to be here.
What we do, there you are. What we can, some portion.
Yeah, I clicked the wrong one.
Like the mechanic special, they put it in a certain.
Running an EAS in the middle of the news? Wow. Really?
Sounds like it.
Okay, yeah, it's crazy right now.
Yeah, it's wild. You can't hire anybody right now. Nobody wants to work. Yeah, they paid more to stay home on their butt. It's just crazy as hell.
This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that will quickly warn you during emergencies has been PW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
Have a happy birthday and say hello to Mark.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And hence, you pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free. 4heads.com/radio. That's right, free. Zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. HIMS connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. HIMS makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with it. And nobody has to, and that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hems.com/radio. That's 4hems.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
But you can take the money to
So to degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Linda Williams. What you can do now is warning residents to be aware of higher danger attacks on higher schools. Danger is reached high and very high drive conditions or in grassy areas with landslide. Anyone going camping or hosting fires in their yards are urged to use extreme caution. Having a shot of water on hand and never leave a fire unattended, like they check with the local fire department.
What do you want? One of the drivers.
Burn down effect.
That's got to get delivered. What's that? That sugar. They know what they're another video. Okay. I can set up this.
Restored.
They haven't seen it yet. Frank knows. I talked to Frank about it.
A survey conducted with property owners in the area shows overwhelming support to rebuild and restore the dam. Around 86%, about 80% responded. However, task force officials say while the costs to do so aren't as high as expected, there will
Scott said something about June 12th or 13th or something like that for the.
Is he going to do the Weber?
I guess.
Okay,
Check with him.
I will. You're going to be? Well, you're going to be gone next week for a little bit.
Monday through Thursday this coming week.
Are you going to be here pretty much all June?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I got June 4th. I got a golf outing, and
All right.
June something or other for the commission. We have a golf outing.
Okay. I'll.
Can I play through?
Really?
No, you can take a big slice. What's up, Marty? How are you, buddy?
I don't try to slice, but it sure
I know that routine.
Yeah, what a difference a couple of days make, huh? Last time I saw you, we had hats on and overcoats and all sorts of stuff.
How's family?
Not too bad. Always room for improvement. That's the secret.
Kind of
It's going to be a little dry.
Should you wait for what you're driving until fire on that deep?
Put them in. I would. I put them. You can get them in moisture. That's the best right now.
Business of the year. Rick Antonio News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time is 11:08.
Join the millions switching to Spectrum Mobile, and you could save up to 40%. Nationwide 5G is included with every plan, and there are no added taxes or fees, plus no contracts. And for a limited time, get up to $300 Samsung 5G phone with trade-in when you switch to Spectrum Mobile. Visit a Spectrum store near you or go to SpectrumMobile.com today. Savings based on comparison of single-line comparable unlimited plans amongst major national carriers as of 1/27/2021. 8086 limits vary by carrier. Spectrum internet required. Services not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Ready for an oil change? At O'Reilly Auto Parts, recommend all get the job done right. Buy 5 quarts of Motor One full synthetic motor oil on sale now, just $28.95. And we'll make sure you have all the supplies you need, including a filter, funnel, shock valves, rain pan, and more.
I can't believe
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
A normal year, if you tried to sleep that early,
WSTW News Time, 11:09. The CDC now says Americans can ditch their face masks outdoors and in most indoor settings if they've been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. But in Michigan, we still have restrictions in place for food wearing masks. This Charlie Longton.
And I say that I'm coming back from Sanderson. 2 guys are emptying their bins out. So one guy had 3 similar things. So they're each
so there were a lot of contracts and pre-sales.
A lot of stuff. Well, they say it's cutting down on the food. You ever places these days because of masks, but they're trying to wear, but gotta do what's gotta do.
You gotta wear your mask.
Hey, what's happening, Harry? What are you doing? What's going on?
I'm running errands.
You're running errands?
Yeah.
Mr. Lark, how are you?
What's happening? How you feeling?
Well, the doc says I was supposed to be in the hospital for a catheterization. I said, I think Cleveland Clinic's a better idea. He was supportive of it, but he said, I'll send all the stuff with you. He said, if you plan on it, when you get there, they're probably going to keep you. I'm like, great. So I'm supposed to go in 2 weeks. But I also have a meeting in North Carolina like 5 days later. So I might have I go, they open me up or something.
Yeah,
no meeting.
that's for sure. Good luck.
It's 11:10.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Blue skies and plenty of sunshine on tap across the area today. We'll see a high temperature into the lower 70s. And then for later on tonight, skies turn partly cloudy. Lows drop back to around 46 degrees with sunshine on tap for your Saturday and a high temperature at around 71. For Saturday night, we'll look for a slight chance of showers developing late under cloud cover. Lows fall back to around 50 with the chance of rain showers here for your Sunday, otherwise partly sunny. High temperatures in the lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Gareth Gallman with the WSGW forecast. Right now, 53.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your hand decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply. Here since 1959.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. Coming to you today from Woolfiles Ace Hardware. We are here for their auction coming up this Sunday. We'll give you a preview of that during the hour. And Terry Henney will be along with his farm show. But for the Focus program this morning, we're going to talk about your health and welfare and hospitalizations and all of that stuff with the regional president of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North. And you can see us both on twitch.tv, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube right now, because I am looking at the very wonderful Dr. Stephanie Duggan. Good morning, Dr. Duggan.
Good morning. It's very strange to be doing a show with you where I can see your face, hear your voice, and it's all on the computer.
And not on the phone. I understand. So I guess we need to start. We can't not talk about COVID-19. How well has St. Mary's fared throughout this epidemic and in terms of your capacities and what have you?
So COVID-19 has been a wild journey. We had phase 1 where we had a smaller peak. We were hit less in the north than they were downstate. Wave 2, we in the north, including all of our hospitals in this region, were hit, significantly hard. And then we think that we're coming out of it, and then we start up again with Wave 3. The nice thing about Wave 3 is we do know how to manage it. We've been managing it for more than a year. At St. Mary's, we're able to, we've dedicated our entire 7th floor has been COVID for this third wave. We have 3 specific units that have negative airflow and negative pressure. So we're able to isolate our COVID patients from anywhere else in the hospital. So staff has been wonderful. We really feel like we can confidently care for this. What's nice is that our mortality is continuing to decline from this disease. Our length of stay, the number of days in the hospital, is also declining. And what's fun this third wave, if there's anything fun about COVID, is that we have new therapies. I mean, we've got the BAM plus the additional drug, which is an outpatient infusion therapy, which helps keep patients out of the hospital, which has really been wonderful. Taoists in particular, that community has embraced that and have given actually more doses than we've even given in Saginaw. So we have other therapies. I want people to feel safe. We still have 0 visitors right now because the positivity rate in Saginaw County still remains over 10%.
When you say 0 visitors, if someone comes in and they have to be transportation for that person because maybe they're going to be sedated or what have you, they still have to wait in a car? There's no visitors at all?
So we have a no visitor policy, and we make exceptions. If it's going to affect the patient's care, for example, we have some folks that have dementia, some folks that are not able to communicate, and they need their person there, their advocate there with them to help share that, or they need to hear what the doctor and staff are saying, we will allow those folks in. And so if you are having surgery, your person that is here transporting you can wait, one person upstairs in our surgical waiting room, following appropriate guidelines, including masks, which I know we're going to talk about today.
Well, let's talk about masks.
How was that for a transition, Art? See how well you've taught me?
That's very good. Obviously, the CDC has come out with recommendations, but that does not necessarily impact you or the state of Michigan, for that matter, because you can set your own policies. So right now, anyway, across the Ascension platform, what's the policy on masks?
So what we have seen with masking is that it has worked. It has protected staff. It has protected out in the community. And what it's also done is our, influenza rate and some of the other diseases that we see a lot more of in the year has essentially, we had a wonderful season from that standpoint. And so the CDC recommendations do not apply to healthcare settings. What we're doing is working. We are staying the course within Ascension. And again, the CDC guidelines don't apply to healthcare facilities. And in the state of Michigan, we are still under the guidelines to continue with face masking based on specific requirements. So we will be continuing to mask.
Do you see the day, maybe it's here now, can you mandate your employees to be vaccinated?
So at this point, we cannot because of the vaccine still being in that technical trial phase.
Oh, so that's the catch.
Yeah. And so it's not like the flu vaccine that was mandated for a while. And vaccines are very personal, but what we do know is they work. And may I say a little bit about how I feel about vaccines?
Well, I'll tell you what, can you hold the thought?
I can.
I know you can. We'll have something to look forward to. I've got to take a break. We are talking to Dr. Stephanie Duggan. She is the president of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North. I'm at Wolfiles for their annual surplus lawn and garden equipment auction. Goes on this Sunday at 10 a.m. here at 5818 State Street in Saginaw. A large lawn and garden equipment auction that features over 50 lawn and garden tractors and approximately 100 walk-behind mowers as well as related equipment. This sale features Cub Cadet, John Deere, Skag, Craftsman. Additional trade-ins are coming in daily. And there is, with most of these tractors, mower decks. Some of them have tillers and blades. It's a large all-season outdoor equipment auction, and you can expect today and tomorrow and then come on out Sunday for the auction. You can find out more online at Wegner Auctioneers, WEGNER Auctioneers.com. We'll be back with Dr. Stephanie Duggan after these notes.
Hello, this is Ron from All Age Automotive and Transmission Repair. Even with so many of us homeschooling or working from home, in the car sitting in the driveway, your engine's oil and other fluids are breaking down over time. Let All Age keep your vehicle running Schedule your oil change and fluid service with us today. Remember, All A's only fixes what we say we're going to fix. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Is All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair a business you can depend on?
Just moved to Midland, was dreading finding a new auto shop. Search over, came highly recommended, and I, in turn, highly recommended them.
They did a great job getting me in fast and had excellent communication with what was going on with my vehicle through diagnostic and repair.
In fact, 96% of All A's customers rank them 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. See for yourself at All A's Auto Repair, Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. More paints, Hunter Douglas blinds, Quazell and Kitchener lighting, flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas gloves, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Wearing a mask is more than protection. It's a bridge to better days. The path back to celebrations with family. Nights out on the town with friends. Game days with your favorite sports teams. And the thrill of live concerts. But until we can all get the COVID-19 vaccine and build community immunity, which will take time, we all need to continue to stay careful, because Michigan's recovery is depending on you, and so are your family, friends, and neighbors. So even after you're vaccinated, wear a mask, avoid large gatherings, social distance. Sure, we will all be able to put this pandemic behind us, but until then, spread hope, not COVID. Learn more at michigan.gov/virus. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on Focus, talking to Dr. Stephanie Duggan, the president of Ascension St. Mary's in Ascension North, who was about to make great pronouncements about vaccines. I can't wait to hear this.
Great pronouncements. I just want to share my passion for getting the vaccine. And I know that we still have folks that are concerned about should they or should they not receive the vaccine. So what I want to share with you is please get the vaccine. What we do know for 100% certainty with the vaccine is that patients that get the vaccine have a lighter course of the disease, even if they do contract it. The vaccines are somewhere between 97, 98% effective for the dual dosing and 70-ish% for the single dosing. And so even if you go at the higher end, there's going to be 3 or 4 people out of every 100 patients that get the vaccine that may contract the disease. Some of them won't even know it. But for those that get sick enough to have to come into the hospital, they do much better. And this is national studies, not just our local studies. So I really encourage everybody to get the vaccine. I know the announcement came out earlier this week that for Pfizer, who had done testing on the vaccines down to children as young as 12, that the Pfizer vaccine is now being supported and approved for 12 and up. And so as we continue to increase the vaccination numbers in our community, we will continue to decrease the spread, and hopefully we'll get that positivity number back down again.
And I know that Pfizer has applied for permanent approval of their vaccines rather than the emergency use. How long is that going to take?
I am not sure about that. I think that we will be the second to know because I think they're pretty excited to get that to happen.
Assuming Pfizer's first. My goodness. You are by training an emergency room doctor.
Correct.
And as you go back through your history in medicine and you look at these things, do you believe that we're going to need to get a shot every year for COVID-19 or a booster of some kind? It's going to be another flu shot?
I think we need a booster. We know that our influenza, they adjust the influenza vaccine based on the prevalence of the dominant strain the previous year, and we get that updated every year. And it's the same with the COVID, with the messenger RNA portion of the vaccine. It's attacking the spike protein. And so if that happens to mutate on the spike protein, we want to be flexible. But even if it doesn't, we're still going to need a booster to get that extra immune response, so we don't put ourselves at risk of getting the vaccine again, or excuse me, getting the disease again. Please put yourself at risk for getting the vaccine again.
I know some people are hesitant because they say, oh, it was developed too quickly. But in reality, the messenger RNA vaccines have been in development since, 2005 or something like that?
Yeah, it's 15, 20 years. And the messenger RNA, it's also a messenger RNA for the protein. So it's the external covering to the actual virus. And so you're getting to that, you're using your cell's machinery to make a response to the external coating so the virus itself can't do any damage. It's not a live attenuated vaccine. And so I want people to feel confident with that. It's important that you are not afraid, because it's designed to help your body's own immune system fight off that virus if it does get into your body by attacking the outer covering of it.
So as president of a hospital and an ER doc, do you see a light at the end of the tunnel?
I am ready for that light. I have been tired after some shifts. As an ER doctor, I was designed for high acuity, bring it on, but then it ends. And 15 months, it hasn't ended.
Yeah.
So I do see the light. I don't want us to take away our precautionary masking and some of these other things too quickly, because I don't want to have a wave 4. And I also want to encourage people to make certain that I think that is our way out of this.
Last question. How's your new emergency room doing?
It's coming along.
Can you stay away from it?
I go down there quite a bit, and it's open on the front portion, like our waiting room, which with COVID, to have our patients, and their families spaced out when we can allow more of our families to come in, will be a real advantage. The ambulance bay is nice and wide open, and now we're into phase 4. In phase 4, we're actually doing the trauma rooms. So yes, I'm very excited. I do check progress probably more frequently than I should, hence the hard hat right behind me.
Yeah. Take the girl out of the ER, but you can't take the ER out of the girl.
Absolutely.
Well, Stephanie, as always, a pleasure. Thank you for spending a little time with us this morning. We appreciate it.
It's always my pleasure. And next time, will you give me the magic wand so we can make this go away?
Maybe it'll be gone by then. We won't need the wand. We'll do it face to face in the studio. All right. Thank you much. Bye-bye now. Dr. Stephanie Duggan, and we thank her for joining us here on this edition of Focus on WSGW. Coming to you from Woe Files. We're going to pause and be back, and then we'll make room for the Farm Show with Terry Henney. That'll be along next.
Drive green with Bader & Sons Company all year long and enjoy the ride. Run with us from now until June 1st and get an even better deal on 1 to 5 Series John Deere tractors with John Deere Reward. Versatility are how we run. That's why the 1 through 5 Series John Deere tractors and attachments are engineered to help you till, mulch, haul, seed, sweep, plow, load, and of course, mow. Stop in today or buy online at greentractors.com.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shep. And I'm Mark. And we're the friendly board-certified entomologists from Rose Pest Solutions.
You know, Shep, when it comes to pest management, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yeah, it seems like people only think of us once they've spotted a pest.
And by then, it could very well get out of control and be expensive to treat.
And that's where our free home assessments come in. We'll look for signs of pests and identify conditions that are conducive to unwanted visitors.
After identifying those conducive conditions, our team will work with you to decide the best course of action.
We have several home service options, including year-round protection, exterior-only treatments, or one-time service.
Whether it's a mouse in your house, cockroaches in your
Scott, show you those
full-blown millipede bloom.
Weber pellet grills?
That's the right solution to make your yard and your home more livable.
Protect your health.
Bring one out to your house. You still like your old grill? I said, yeah, I love my Summit. I love my Summit.
Proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen.
I told him, I said,
And it doesn't really matter what.
Is he going to do the?
Well, I told him, I said, I talked to Kevin over at Weber
Light brown or
when I was in Vassar. He was out there. And he said, well, I'm going to get with Scott. And I said, okay, well, you get with Scott. And right now, I told Kevin, I said, because we're planning on it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Scott has talked to him?
he was in here the other day,
Okay.
but Scott didn't have a
Trying
chance
to
to
find a
talk to him.
needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some
But
job
Scott
board,
said,
but then
you know, are
all
we
you
good?
can do is hope the
We're
right
good.
person comes along,
Good.
which is why you
I
should
got
try
you on the calendar.
for free
So,
at
anything else in June?
ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
I know we got
doesn't depend on candidates finding
Carol in
you.
July.
It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified
I don't know if
candidates
it'll work or
fast.
not, but the
So
first
while
Saturday
other
in
companies
June,
might deliver a lot of hay,
the
ZipRecruiter
Salvation
finds you
Army is
what
going
you're
to
looking
have
for.
their
It's a needle in the haystack.
car kettle
employers
drivers.
who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a
Car
quality
kettle crew.
candidate within the first day.
Oh, yeah, where?
ZipRecruiter.
Bay City.
Hire. And right now, you
Got to
can
find
try
out
ZipRecruiter
where they're
for
going to
free.
start and where they're going to
That's
end.
here's Bay City. At ZipRecruiter.com.
He wasn't talking to you.
That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
So
The Focus Show on
We'll see what that
WSGW. Brought to you
boils down
by
to.
Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply. Serving you since 1959.
All right, that does it for Focus today. Time to head over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day. And that's where we find Steve Anderson. Steve, good morning.
And a good morning to you.
So how are the markets doing the end of the week?
Rather strong though. Dow Jones Industrial Average is ahead by 290 points, sitting at 34,312 on volume of 304 million shares. The Nasdaq is ahead by 241, putting it at 13,366. Volume there is 356 million shares.
So we end kind of a downer week on an up note. That's a good thing. What's your ticker tip?
It is. I guess, the ticker tip today is under the best news because we seem to have so much of it nowadays. And if you're following the news day by day with an attempt to manage your investments based on this morning's news, you're running a really good chance being on the wrong side of the coin, doing more things that you should, and wondering why is it that you don't have a good performing portfolio. So what you want to do is make sure that you have identified what you are believe to be the trends, what you believe to be the longer term narrative, and invest that way. Invest wisely, and then do all you can to make sure that you don't get caught up in today's news.
And how do they get some help from you?
Well, they call us right here at Baird & Company, where the telephone number is 790-5724, or you can find us on the web at rwbaird, that's BAIRD.com, and then look for the Saginaw branch.
All right. Have a great weekend, Steve. We'll talk to you Monday.
I will. You do the same. See you then.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Coming up, Farm Service 790 with Terry Henney. That'll be along right after these notes.
While you're comfortable. Weather takes a
All right. Here's the setup.
Okay.
Here's your log, too.
All right.
I got the camera turned off right now. You
Okay,
can
so
click
I
on
got
that.
to just click it on it.
And that's your pot right there. Got it for this one.
Okay.
If you want that one, it's
This one,
this pot.
This is number 3. Okay. Gotcha.
Call Ben today.
I can do that.
859-6751.
While we've been staying safe,
listen.
labor's
hard to find, right?
this journey began
I'm willing to I'm willing to try it for 10 days.
Scientists go from there with months of research and development,
You hire 'em.
cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse race, age, and health status. They arrived at a safe, effective vaccine.
Oh, geez.
Boy, that's one big mama.
Hey, did you hear the new radio ads?
We need to get the first
against her?
vaccine available to us. Keep wearing masks correctly and taking precautions.
We've got them on. They were on yesterday.
Recall or what?
No, some deal about how she's receiving an award of some kind. And
Oh yeah, she got some kind of an award.
yeah, well, the big ceremony, and they're talking about it. Oh yeah, but the ad is hilarious. You got to hear it.
Does it seem like you're visiting the bathroom too much? If you're a man who's constantly going to pee, try Super Beta Prostate. It's the best-selling prostate supplement in America because its ingredient helps you reduce urges to pee. That means less bathroom, less waking at night with urges to go. Due to overwhelming demand, Super Beta Prostate is flying off the shelves at Walmart. Be sure to get your supply.
Okay, Charlie.
All gone. Get to Walmart and try Super Beta Prostate.
Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, a mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. We're having ourselves a fun day today. A lot of fun here at Wolfiles Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. As you can see in the background, there's all sorts of equipment all around me. Brand new stuff. And in some cases, some of this stuff you can't find at other Cub Cadet dealers or Gravely dealers as well. Wolfiles has ordered way in advance, and they've got a lot of product here, including the Honda mowers that they'll save you a lot of time, and they go forever and a day. Now, they also outside, and I had a chance to take a look there, but I couldn't stand out there very long because, as you can tell, I'd get sunstroke here. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. They're having an auction. It's going to be on Sunday, starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, but you can walk around and take a look and see all that they have here. And right now, according to last count, I think it was close to 60 lawn and garden tractors and well over 100 walk-behind mowers and all sorts of other equipment, too, that you can use this spring and summer. They've been working on some of these used product. They've been getting it running. It's ready to go. All you got to do is just stop by, take a look, and get out your little scratch pad and jot down a few things. But on Sunday, you better be here early because all of this product has been accumulating now for more than a year. Because remember, last year in May, we weren't doing any of this at all. So a lot of this product has been here for 2 years. So selection is at the best you've ever seen at Wolfiles Ace Hardware for their auction here in the spring. So you definitely want to stop by and check it out in advance. But be sure to be here early on Sunday. And right now, by the looks of things, I think the weather is going to cooperate too. We're looking at 66 degrees at the airport, 65 at Radio Center. Downtown Bay City is at 65. Downtown Midland is at 66. And by the time we're all done, 73 degrees with plenty of sun. That's in the forecast. Clear skies tonight. A low of right around 48. Sun will set this evening at 8:54, rise tomorrow morning at 6:11. And then during the day tomorrow, clear skies. It looks as though 70 degrees is our temperature for tomorrow. There is going to be a very slight chance, I want to say late in the day on Saturday, more than likely on Saturday night, where there might be an isolated sprinkle or two. But I think the best chance of that is, once again, as been happening, Southern Michigan will have a much better chance of having that happen. And during the day on Sunday, mostly sunny, 72 degrees for a high. Right now, it looks like 49 for a low. Very light south wind, about 5 to 7 miles per hour on Sunday. So wear the sunscreen and get that old straw hat out and enjoy the auction here at Wolf Isles Ace Hardware. Monday, partly cloudy skies, middle 70s. Clear skies Monday night, a low of right around 50. Then on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, if there's going to be any precipitation at all, it is going to be widely scattered, and the likelihood, I want to say, not very likely at all. Upper 70s on Tuesday, 80 on Wednesday, upper 70s on Thursday, nighttime lows in the low to mid 50s. Normal high for this time of the year is 67. The normal low is 46. Record high in this state is 87, and that was set way back in 1900 and then tied in 1932. The record low, 29. That was set back in 1910. And a year ago on this day, our high was 64. Our low was 45. Long range outlook to run into that week before Memorial Day weekend. Above average on the temperatures, below average on the moisture. More as we go on the weather, as we go through the broadcast today at Wolf Isles. Gary Kaufman is standing by. We'll be talking to him in just a moment about the markets. Let's see if we can correct a little bit of that downward movement that the markets have had the past couple of days. He comes up in a moment. But first, this reminder, the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and leave the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer
we've got Gary and Doug ready to go.
The Roundup granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth, drive performance this season and beyond. For East More Nutrition, expect better results with
take a
Titan
break,
XC.
and then
For
we'll
more
go
information,
to Jerry
visit
Rice.
lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant today.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Tri-County Equipment. Hey, they've got lots of special pricing right now on lawn and garden, whether it's the lawn and garden tractors, the zero-turn mowers, the gators. They've got anything you can use this spring. If it's John Deere, you can get it and save yourself some money because they do have some special financing available to you right now. Any of the locations of Tri-County will help you out. Remember, when you're talking John Deere in Michigan's Thumb, as well as Saginaw, Reese, and Birch Run, you are talking Tri-County Equipment, working harder, doing more. Along with me, Gary Kaufman, Star of the Western. Frankenmuth. Gary, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Terry. Doing well, thank you.
Well, good. I hope you're doing better than the markets.
Well, yeah, the volatility is alive and well, isn't it?
Good Lord. I don't know. I don't know if volatility is strong enough to describe
Yeah, we gotta find a better adjective.
Yeah, we do. Let's go.
The corn market continues to melt down here a little bit, but we got the soybeans and wheat on the positive side. So with that, currently, let's call cash wheat up 6 right now at 678. We're both old and new on the white and 633 on the red. Cash corn is down 20, Terry, at 635. New crop is down 4 at 504. Cash soybeans currently
This one here is their smallest size. It's a 30.
New crop, let's call it up.
30 inch riding mower.
So quite a difference as far as the markets go from the beginning of the week to today. What factors have played in on this major move?
Yeah, you're right, Terry. I just calculated out here too for the week. Wheat's down 56, corn's down about 75, and actually soybeans are up about 3 cents for the week. But that May 12th USDA report, that was kind of our first official look at new crop fundamentals theory. Gave us some projections, and that's part of the reason, because I think the market was looking for maybe a the old market adage of high prices kind of cure high prices, or low prices kind of cure low prices. So, when you look at all those numbers that came out on Wednesday, we're not going to run out of grain, but moving forward, weather is going to be a major factor. May 14th, and we're just planting our crop in the ground. Of course, that second crop in Brazil, that's the pre-nut corn crop, is going to get a lot of attention moving forward. Even China, the demand that China brings. And that's 200 million bushel that they bought. Will they take it all? Time will tell. But anyways, a lot of new numbers. Maybe not so bullish as we thought. But again, when the funds take huge positions, you get a lot of technical selling. When you drop, then you got a liquidation going on a lot of positions too. So stop losses and stuff like that. But all that plays a role.
Right now, it does appear, and I had a chance to do some talking and some reading over the last 24 hours about the weather trends, the patterns that we're watching right now to take us in at least through through second quarter and into third quarter. So we're talking July, the end of July, first part of August. And right now, it appears as though who's ever dry is going to stay dry, and whoever is wet is going to stay wet. We're locked in on a pattern right now, and there really doesn't seem to be much movement one way or the other.
Yeah, for sure, Terry. I know I talked to some of my customers down in take that line of the Indiana, Ohio, Michigan border. You go east to west, and they've got a lot of rain down through those areas. So it seems like the past couple of years, southern Michigan is part of that as well. And it's always tracked through there for whatever reason. So.
It sure did, and it has been. Gary, have a good weekend, okay?
I will, Terry, do the same. Don't work too hard.
Oh, no, not me. Not if I can help it.
Okay.
Talk to you later. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. A little bit more as far as what our markets are doing. Let's go over to Oppenheimer with Doug Klein. The market report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline, the Great Lakes area's certified ag dealer. It's Ram Spring commercial truck season going on right now at Schaefer and Beerline. They know how to sell trucks. They know how to sell vans. They know all about those Rams and how good they are and how well they perform. Because remember, family and service sells cars at Schaefer and Beerline. So you can buy with confidence. Schaefer and Beerline since 1852 in Frankenmuth. And by the folks at Thumb Bank, serving the needs of farmers for well over 125 years. They've got a couple locations in Bay City, also Cass City, Caseville, Pigeon, and Bad Axe. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Morning, Doug.
Good morning.
What are we looking at now? I don't know if you heard in the background, they got the chainsaw out, so evidently we're starting to cut wood here for fires because everything else is going to be way too expensive.
Oh my gosh, you got that right. It's just a wild day again. Big money moving into energy again this time, and a lot of money moving into precious metals today, especially the silver and the platinum. So who knows? Anyway, here's your 658 and a quarter, down 16 and a half. December corn 556 and a quarter, down 2. The July soybeans 15.95, up 11. But November soybeans 14.05 and 3/4, up 9 and a quarter. July wheat 7.07 and a quarter, up 5 and 3/4. And December wheat 7.10 and 3/4, up 5 and a quarter. Crude oil 65.08. There she goes again, up $1 and a quarter. Heating oil is 203.38. Gasoline 212.08, up 2.5 cents. Natural gas is 301 and a quarter. That's down 1 1/4 cents. Canadian dollar, US dollar gets you $1.2111 at the border. That's down 49 ticks. The yen is at 109.37, down 8 ticks. The euro is at 121.36. That's up 58 ticks. The dollar's at 90.37. That's down 37 ticks. Gold's at 1838.60, up $14.60. 27.49, up 43 cents. Platinum's at 12.25.
Doug, you have a great weekend, okay?
I will. You too.
All righty. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. We'll be back with more from Wolfiles Ace Hardware at 5818 State Street in Saginaw in a moment. And Attorney Jerry Reif will be joining us in just a moment as well. All of that, but first, these notes.
Now's the time to get a great deal on Kubota Pro. Selling Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors, Z Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details. Now's the time to get a great deal
Okay, Charlie, go ahead and
compact tractors. Our
play
reliable
the
#1 selling tractors are designed for easy operation.
Bailey after this.
Attachments needed to tackle any job. Right now, put 0 down and get 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $1,200 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/offers for full disclaimer.
See Kim Weiss at Legal Equipment, 3001 Sawyer Drive along I-75 at the M81 Carroll exit just south of the Milwaukee Bridge, Saginaw. Call Kim today at 989-754-7801 or email at k.weiss@legal1.com.
Northeastern Bank, home decoration center.
What we'll do is, after we get done with Jerry Reif, we'll go right to Chuck Cervinsky. So if you can put him on the line after Jerry Reif.
Northeastern Bank, home decoration center.
Now in Compton, that's 62 years Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Extra more paints. Hunter Douglas
So yeah,
Blinds,
go ahead and
Gazelle,
play
Kitchener
Reif.
Flooring from Flooring America. Fireplace doors.
And then we'll
custom made rugs. It's all
go to
here under one
Cervinsky
roof.
right
Northeastern
after
Paint
that.
Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, home decoration center.
Along with me is legal advisor Jerry Reif from the law office of Jerry Reif here in Saginaw. Jerry, good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm fine, Jerry. How's everything going?
Hey, everything is going great. With the weather like this, well, life is good. Life is real good. You know.
Amen. Now, if only the tax rules were sunny, we'd be happy, right?
Oh, man. I'll tell you, every time I have Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo on every Monday, and he's always got something to talk about with tax changes. I know you've got a lot of different changes that you want to talk about.
I don't even know where to start. I mean, and a lot of these are laws, but a lot of these are regulations. So, I mean, they can creep up on you. And I've got clients that I'm trying to, stay ahead of the curve on that. And we are. We've been open right straight through this whole pandemic as much as we could. Those rules are relaxing. So we're starting our in-person seminars, workshops, and everything June 17th, and we're happy to do that. We've had the virtual ones all along, but these rules, the old ways are dangerous. In fact, that's what we have to impress upon everybody. I've been cautioning people about the capital gains problem for a year and a half, 2 years, ever since the Biden administration came in. It was pretty obvious what they wanted to do. They wanted to lower the exemption so that it raises the tax, not to mention the fact that instead of 40 or 50%, it's 65% by the time they get done. At no stepped-up basis. I mean, people might not worry about that, but as soon as you have property sold, especially within a family, you're triggering capital gains tax if you're not careful. And, of course, these days, those rates are going to start going up. Back in the day of Jimmy Carter, they tried to do carryover basis. I won't go into all the fine points about it, but carryover basis means somebody's going to pay the capital gains tax sooner or later. So you have to stay away from that. But it's all the more reason to have your health care power of attorney current, your financial power of attorney current, At least a will, preferably, maybe a whole trust, maybe a special trust, maybe an irrevocable trust, but have it all in place. Fishery, name that trust, so you stay away from probate, you get it all taken care of, you got your limited liability companies, so you got some protection from litigators, and now, of course, you got to be protected from Uncle Sam again. So, I mean, everywhere you look, there's piranha, let's put it that way, wanting to take a bite of the thing you work all hard of your life to collect, and everybody that has any kind of assets accumulated looks collectible, and they're coming. So you got to prepare for that, and the best thing to do is be proactive. Of course, we're trying to do these workshops, these seminars, and our webinar online. I mean, you can go on our webinars, there's plenty of information with the videos, the YouTubes, all that stuff. Just go to jerrywrightLawyer.com or call my office at 989-790-1461. And you should be enough to get you over the fears of inactivity. And the biggest problem you got to get away from is procrastinating. Don't procrastinate, because we're only one stroke or heartbeat away from disaster. So just got to be prepared. And I don't care how old you are, or how young you are, or how healthy you feel. That's today. Get it done. Get it done while you can still do it. Well, your faculties are under the gun or pressure to really get something squared away. So workshop in June 17th, and we're going to have more. So I just want to at least announce that one live. Whatever the rules are then, and we're going to live by it. We have to wear a mask. If we don't. We have to be social distancing. We're going to do all that, and we'll wait to see what happens.
All righty.
But we're going to keep on doing virtual. We've been doing that for a year and a half, 2 years now. So,
Jerry,
it's just got to go with the flow. But,
fantastic. Hey, Jerry, thanks a lot.
That's the key.
Thanks a lot. Have a good weekend, okay?
You too.
All righty. Yes, I will. Jerry Rife. On the line with me right now, I think I've got Chuck Cervinsky from Maple Hill Nursery. Chuck, good morning. How are you?
Hey, happy Friday. It's a sunny one.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I think we want to talk about something that you and I have talked about before, and a lot more people are looking at this. It's raised bed gardening.
Definitely. It's becoming more and more popular. As people don't put in a garden anymore, you can do a lot with a little space, sometimes no more than 4x4 in size. But raised bed gardening has become more popular because the soil warms more quickly, which allows for earlier planting in the spring. It doesn't compact as much, and it produces more vegetables per square foot. The key to having a good raised bed, though, is make sure that you have you prepare it right and have good soil. And you want to make sure that you have good drainage to start with. And it can be accomplished a number of ways, but simply putting down a layer of sand or pea gravel at the very bottom of your new raised bed, maybe 3-4 inches deep, then you're going to fill the rest of it with a mixture of mostly 50% screen topsoil and 50% compost. Composted products. They make a topsoil blend, which is excellent mixture for a base, and then you can top it off with their Dairy Dew or their Veggie Dew 301, and it really produces results.
Now, we might have to do a little bit more watering, you think, Chuck?
Yeah, you're going to have to do a little bit more watering because you get a lot more leaching with a raised bed, so it's going to dry out a lot quicker. What I mean, dry out a lot quicker when it's above the ground as to below.
So, for more information on how to go about doing that, you can help us out, right, Chuck?
Definitely. You can get a hold of us at 989-835-4708. You can also visit our website. We've got some things on there, www.maplehillmidland.com.
Very good. Have a great weekend. I know you will.
Oh, we will. We'll be busy.
All righty. Chuck Cervinsky with Maple Hill Nursery in Midland. We'll be right back.
Drive green with Bader & Sons Company all year long and enjoy the ride. Run with us from now until June 1st and get an even better deal on 1 to 5 Series John Deere tractors with John Deere Rewards. Productivity and versatility are how we run. That's why the 1 to 5 Series John Deere tractors aimed at veterans are engineered to help you till, seed,
2 minutes,
plow, mow, and of course, mow. Stop in today or buy online at greentractors.com.
We're broadcasting today from Wolf Isles Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street in Saginaw, just to give you an idea that they've got an auction action weekend going on right now, inside as well as outside. Stop by, check it out, and see all of the lawn and garden equipment that's going to be featured in this auction. The auction is Sunday morning, 10 o'clock is when it starts. You definitely want to get here earlier than that because there's so much to see, so much to do, and a lot of fun, and a great way to save some money. So stop on out. We'll be back at 12:30 with an update, so you stick around. But right now we join radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem. There you are. Are you noticing the signal dropping out a little bit or not?
No,
that's
okay. That's just the RN.
Oh, okay. That's just on our end. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. All right. Yeah, I just noticed at the wrong time we had two of those Skyview access things. What? Really? Holy shit. Where the heck was the other one?
How are you? Very well, thanks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
From the Stone Festival Studios, this is WSGW.
Wow.
Saginaw, Bay City.
We had a full house.
WSGW.
Okay. I think I'm going to shut this off.
Steve Kathan, a defender of Donald Trump, has new power in the House of Representatives.
We are going on offense and are going to win back the majority.
So at the